So, yo, no censoring.
And
no
if I'm not
editing.
gonna answer,
JJ,
I'm gonna
no
plead the
censoring, no
fifth.
editing.
I don't censor shit.
No, I know. I love JJ. For
I
that,
take
yeah.
the fifth. I plead the
Whoa.
fifth.
Fuck
man.
that.
Let's go.
Ever
Let's
said
do it.
it.
Let's do it.
Yo, it's your boy Roach Killa,
What up? This is your boy Blitz, aka Blitzkrieg.
and you're tuned in to Frequency and Friends Season 3.
Season 3, the originators of the Toronto City. This is where it started, baby.
Bang.
All right, welcome to Frequency and Friends Season 3. We are back, and we got two very special guests in the building. I think, is this the first time we've had two special guests at the same time?
No, we had Arky and AK.
Oh, those are our original first
Yeah,
guests
yeah,
ever.
yeah, that's
Shout out
right.
to Arky and AK.
and
thank you
Amr
for
Sandhu and Prana came through as well.
absolutely. Okay, maybe I'm
Amr
just
and
tripping.
Prana.
All right.
Oh, yeah. So he doesn't know anything.
We got two more very special guests in the building today. They're our hometown natives. One of them decided to move away a while ago and hasn't come back. We're going to find out why. One of them's still here. We got Blitzkrieg and Roach Killa in the house. Everybody make some noise.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers. Yeah.
Of course, I got my co-host with me, Jay Static, DJ
What's
M, Jyoti Dylan, and we got all the family in the house today. I'm going to start with MD.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
We got JD right beside him. We got
What up?
Cineverse in the house.
Yeah.
September.
Nav EI in the house.
Okay.
And shot by Dolo Guti Gang.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't forget the main dude right in the back right there.
That's
Mr.
Amrit. He's Cineverse.
I know, but we gotta
Seen
see Sunny
Cineverse,
Tamara
Yeah, it's like-
and
all right,
Cameron.
yeah, true enough. Thank you guys for coming out. Everybody always shows mad love, support. We're here for two very special guests, like I said. How you guys feeling today?
Yo, we're feeling amazing, man. Thank you for having us. And as we said, there's no censoring in this episode. So here we go, yo. You guys want a show? We're about to give you a show.
All right, shit talk, start. Let's go.
Start right here. Yo, you want me to start? So listen, let's start it the right way, okay? So
Don't
JJ,
blame me
yeah,
for this.
yeah, don't blame him. Yo, JJ, first of all, this is my little brother. I've known this guy for
Little?
15 years.
Hey, I'm still younger, motherfucker.
He's
Even
still-
though I'm older
like,
than you,
I
I'm
mean,
still younger.
We were in high school at the same time.
Oh, okay.
We were, but like, you know, but JJ, so I got a little beef to pick with the Frequency and Friends podcast.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
I got
Oh,
no
shit.
beef. No,
Shots fired already.
Yo, I trolled you.
Already.
I just
Yo,
got
listen,
here right
listen.
now. I just walked in,
Jay
so I
just-
don't know any of
Jay
this.
just like, I'm gonna turn the mic down.
He's like, let me turn this down.
What's the beef? What's the beef?
There's no beef, actually.
Yo,
But-
yo,
No, I
yo.
want to hear this
Just all
now.
jokes aside. So, Frequency and Friends put that Humble the Poet was the pioneer of Desi urban hip hop from Toronto.
So-
which it needs to. And I messaged JJ right away, and I was like, "Hey, listen, I think this is what the kids call trolling."
I don't think
But let me. Those are my exact words. I'm like, "Let me troll you, bro."
I don't think you were the only one actually messaged.
Nah,
JJ.
there was a couple
people.
people that messaged, but where I want to clarify that,
Right.
I believe
It was me who
the
said it.
rhetoric or whatever the
Yeah.
copyright was
Yeah.
supposed to say helped pioneer.
But he didn't.
Hold on, my mic
he
has to
didn't.
be up
He
for
helped
this
took
one.
it to he helped take it to a
No, he
level.
definitely did. He definitely did. And yo, listen.
Maybe not help pioneer. That's the wrong word.
We're really
Pioneer
getting
is the
into it
wrong
right
word.
now.
Yeah,
Straight
pioneer is the
into
wrong
it.
All
word.
right, why don't
I'm
we
down.
do this then? Why don't we do this? Let's give some content to the listeners. Those of you guys who don't know who Blitzkrieg and Roach Killa are, Roach Killa and Blitzkrieg are two Asian artists that are originally from Toronto. They've been in the scene for a really long time, over a decade.
Crazy long.
Way over almost 3 decades.
And-
almost some of us.
Holy
I'm
shit.
not gonna lie, even I forgot how long they were. I mean, Roach Killa, we see you a lot more, I guess, on TV, YouTube,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So you're more in our face. So it's a little bit more there. But Blitzkrieg, I forgot. I'm gonna be completely
Yeah, no,
honest because
100%.
I went back. I do my research on the show, and there was some shit where I was like, "Fuck!" When I was young, I used to bump to all this.
Yeah.
music.
Yeah,
Ask him,
yeah.
I was sending him to the tracks, and this
Yeah.
guy had flow. I think you were probably the first one in Toronto to ever mix like an Indian beat with real hip hop at the
I
same
wouldn't.
time.
So, I can't take credit for that. So me sitting next to my brother, he came way before me. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
got the proof, bro. I
He's
brought
got the
pic-
proof.
Right now, where's the camera, bro?
He brought the baby
Where's the
pictures
camera,
with the mic.
bro?
So-
Hold on.
Hold
Before
on, let
we
me show
even
his
continue.
picture. His first album, Rastafari.
Okay, hold on. Watch this. So where's the camera? Can they zoom in or
Yeah,
no?
That
right-
one right there,
right behind you,
there.
yeah.
That camera will zoom in right there.
Come here, bro.
We'll put it in. Just send.
This is me when I was 12 years old, right? So watch this. It's 12 years old, right? So what does it say right here? Release. What is the date right here? Can you read it? What does that say?
Oh
Hold on,
yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta
We'll
talk
get
into the
there.
mic.
Okay,
Yeah,
yo.
talk-
So basically, I'm
We'll
gonna
put
show
the
this,
picture up on
right?
the
You're gonna
screen.
put the
So
picture up on the screen.
It's a picture of you when you're 12 years old.
A picture of me when I was
We'll
12
put it
years
up on the
old,
screen.
and then this is the album. Was the first album was called Roach Safari, and that's where I got my name Roach from, right?
Uh-huh. No, don't lie. Okay, now weed is legal in Canada. Both you guys, Blitz and Roach, you guys are a bunch of stoners.
Yo, I rolled a fucking baseball bat of a joint right when these guys got here. And I'm like, yo, Blitz, let's get Blitz. And he's like, I don't smoke.
I'll get to where I got my name from after. But what I wanted to say,
Blitzkrieg is a German warfare method of German
I'll get to that.
warfare,
But what I wanted to basically
Hold
say
on,
is
before we get to it, right? So I'm just saying, the first album, the name Roach came from there. It had nothing to do with weed and shit. Yeah, I smoked weed all my life, but that was nothing to do with it. I was 12 fucking years old, right? So if you look at this date, so going back to you guys saying pioneers of fuck all, yeah? Check this out. What does it say, bro? 1994.
94, his first album.
I don't
came
even think
out.
none of these motherfuckers was born
Nah,
then.
nah, nah, nah.
I'm a 94
No,
baby.
I was 9.
I'm a
I was
94.
9.
You were 9.
I'm a 94
You were
baby.
94. I had
You
my
was like
first
one. You were like
release
zero. You
in
were
94.
Did it
So-
come out before November?
Hold on. So
I don't
So
know.
the point I'm trying to make is right, going back to this whole pioneer of hip hop, pioneer of music, this and that. I'm a very humble guy, bro. I don't talk shit. I don't go around and say I did this, that. But when you put the shit to the table, fuck everybody else, yeah? Without me, it was Earl Ferns, and it was Kid Spice that fucking
Kid
started this
Spice.
whole fucking.
Woo.
We started Toronto's fucking, and I can't lie, Precious P, aka Pama.
Pama
There were-
Sarai went by Precious.
and Disha, which was known as Baldish back in the days,
How
right?
about-
So there was
how
4
about,
of us called Daisy Records.
Sarb
Daisy
Smooth, did he
Records.
come after?
Way
Oh, he's
Who?
way after.
Way
okay.
after,
So
way after,
sorry,
way after.
I
No,
was
no, no, no,
talking
way
about
after, way after, way after.
Sarb Smooth?
He's part of
way
Man Just
after.
Grant.
Whoa,
No,
wait,
wait.
So-
That's
I
like
didn't-
2010
okay,
or something.
guys,
bro.
all right,
Listen,
we're
bro.
gonna get through it all. We shouldn't be talking over each other because
Right.
everybody listening is gonna be
Right.
like, I'm gonna turn this off right now, right? So let's
Right.
get to it from the beginning.
Right.
So Roach, you're originally from North Africa, correct?
Yes, I was born in Libya.
So give me the breakdown of North Africa, you living out there, and how you guys decided to come to Toronto.
Basically, I was born in Libya, lived there for about 10 years. I was there when America bombed the fuck out of us over there. So the situation pretty fucked up. Yeah, exactly. I was on that fucking track called Missing Ingredient. Right? Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Right? That's all I gotta
That's all
say,
I gotta
right? So I moved, we left there when I was about 9 or so, or 10, I think something like that. We moved to Canada. Actually, I lived in New York for a year before we moved to Toronto. Moved to Toronto, where I lived, I grew up in Scarborough. So when I came from Africa to Toronto, like, I never seen that many white people in my fucking life, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm growing around, it's all Kali, obviously, in North Africa, right?
Yeah.
So the area that I grew up was bare Kali, and the Kalis that were there that were growing up were all Jamaicans. That's how I kind of got into the reggae music. So that's where I grew up, Scarborough, that's where I grew up. That's where I started doing the reggae music. That's when I went downtown to Harbourfront, was the first time, back in the days when the shit used to happen. I met fucking Precious P, which is Pamba now. He used to be called Precious P.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Pama
And shout out to Pama Sarai, because he was the first one. I was
He's
like,
first.
I was 11 years old, bro. He pulled me on stage, and he was on stage. He pulled me on stage. He's like, yo, come do your thing, because he knew I did this shit before behind the scene with him. Pulled me on stage, met with Earl Ferns, Kid Spice. So us 5.
No, hold on. You went back. You went quickly. Okay, so you got to here, and then how did you get into music? Like,
I got into music because in my house, my dad was listening to like Punjabi music, Bollywood music, Pakistani music, ghazals and stuff. My mom used to listen to a lot of ghazals.
Bollywood in your music, a lot of influence
100%.
off of Bollywood.
100%. My mom used to listen to a lot of ghazals like Ghulam Ali and stuff, right? So I was always into melody. And then when I came to not to say UK, fuck. when I came to Toronto, I always loved music, and the thing was influence around me was reggae music. So it kind of like, the melodies attracted me because reggae music had, hip hop was cool. I loved hip hop.
Top 3 reggae
Like,
artists.
Yeah, I need to hear
Bro,
that. That's
come
what I
on.
want to hear.
It depends, bro, what era we're talking about.
I want to hear about your
about-
era. What
90s,
got you
early
into
90s.
it?
To be honest, my name is Roach Killa because on the back of Bounty Killer. That's Killer from that, right? Obviously, Super Cat was my biggest influence, and Apache Indian, I can't lie.
There you
So
go.
those 3 you could say are like my biggest influence. Obviously, it was Capleton,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And then going on to Beanie Man and going on to the rest of them. But main influence, I would say, is Super Cat. And I'm sure you can hear that in my style. Sean Paul does the same shit.
Yeah.
So that was one of my influences. That's how I got into the reggae music.
Okay.
And then so now you're doing your thing. You get pulled up on stage with Precious P.
Yeah, I got Precious P pull up on stage.
Uh-huh.
Earl Ferns and Kid Spice were starting to do their thing. They seen me because I wasn't doing rap, I was doing reggae. So they're like, okay, we already have a rapper. Let's try to get somebody that's doing the opposite. So the 3 of us. So we were doing things. We did breakfast television. You guys remember breakfast television?
yeah.
CP24,
Bro,
yeah.
we did the mix with was it Mr. T or Master T?
Master T.
Master T.
Yeah.
Bro,
That wasn't even CP24.
Bro.
That was City TV.
that was City TV. The mix,
Buddy.
the mix.
Yeah.
You guys remember the
ever
mix?
do
Yeah,
Electric
man.
Circus? You
Right?
guys remember
Electric Circus with Monica Dill. We did
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, when you're talking about the pioneers of Toronto, I don't like to toot my own fucking horn. But yo, who the fuck is anybody, bro?
Yeah.
Nobody can
Yeah.
talk to me about Toronto.
100%.
And again, on top of that, Toronto, where was Toronto seen until me and Blitz went to UK and put that fucking light on
Nowhere.
the city?
Nowhere.
Did anybody care about Toronto?
So let's get to that. So Blitz,
Yeah.
I want to hear your background too. So you grew up in Mississauga, not far from here.
Not far from JJ.
Not far
So,
from
Not
JJ.
far from JJ.
Right?
Yeah. So
And I hear a lot of New York influence in your style of hip hop. Is that true?
yeah, definitely. So just growing up in Mississauga, like, you know, he had more of a world influence growing up in Africa, and then he came here. So me just growing up on the East Coast, I grew up with like Mobb D, Boot Camp Click. So that early 90s New York hip hop really influenced me. So, you know, taking that influence, you know, I put it into music. I started freestyling, and I was like everybody else. I was just like, I don't really listen to indie music. The most amount of indie music I listened to was Wham Bam.
Yeah.
You know, Wham,
Yeah,
I heard Wham Bam.
Shout out
Wham Bam was
Bam.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
That
That's dope.
Rise and Shine, the mix at the
Yeah,
start. at the
Sunshine.
start.
Ooh.
Sunshine.
Shout out to
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
And
That was
then
around our times.
Apache Indian Chuck Day came out. My
Yeah.
mom bought me that. So basically, I started rapping, and I wasn't really into Indian music, and I just started rapping, and just like everybody else that you meet, they're just like, man, I ain't really into the Indian thing.
How are you rapping? Like at home on your computer recording? Were you out rapping with your friends? Like,
Just out on the street
Okay,
rapping,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Just like freestyle battling. And then what happened was I started to gain a name in my neighborhood. And then when I gained a name in my neighborhood, basically what happened is, you guys know DJ Cameron
Yeah,
Durrani.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So Cameron at that time, this is at a time where studio equipment was not available at home, right? It was very expensive. The only person I knew that had studio equipment was DJ Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Cameron went to Streetsville, I went to Meadowville. So they're next to each other. Like
I
kind
didn't
of,
know Cameron was from Saga too.
Yeah,
Isn't
Cameron,
it?
Yeah,
Cameron,
man.
Cameron,
Yeah.
Alley Cat, they're from Saga, right?
Uh-huh.
So Cameron was the only guy. I said to Cameron, hey man, you make beats. I don't know anybody else who makes beats. Give me some beats. He gave me some beats. I took him to a studio, and this is when you had to pay big bucks for a studio. So I recorded an EP, a 5-song EP or a 4-song EP. Back then there was a show called Farm Club. Do you remember Farm Club?
No.
Okay, so there was a show on. There was no MySpace. There was no internet. There was no SoundCloud. Nothing.
Not even dial up yet with that fucking.
I mean, I think there was dial-up, but like, I mean, Farm Club.
What year was this?
I'm saying
1942.
1942. So
Love story.
1940. So basically, I think this was like around 2001, right? So I recorded this, and I put it up on this thing called Farm Club, which was a TV show on Fox, where you would put your music up, you get your friends to vote for you, and I put it up there, and I guess no one had ever heard a Punjabi rapper before.
Fox, like Fox TV.
Fox TV,
Oh
right?
shit. Okay.
I shot to number 5 on the charts.
That's dope.
Right? So all of a sudden, Cameron has always been tight with Punjabi MC. Cameron went to England to work with Punjabi MC. He played in my demo, saying, hey, yo, there's some rapper rapping on my beats. Punjabi MC, do you remember Funkmaster Flex had albums called 60 Minutes of Funk?
Hell yeah.
So Punjabi MC had an online radio show called 60 Minutes of Desi. He took my entire demo and played it on there going, I've never heard a Punjabi guy rap like this. This is in 2002, right?
Uh-huh.
So all of a sudden, my phone starts blowing up. My email starts blowing up saying, bro, you know, Tiger Style's hitting me up. Punjabi Hit Squad's hitting me up. Bobby Friction's hitting me up. Universal Music UK's hitting me up saying, we want your music. I'm like, what's going on
Yeah.
here?
How old are you at this time?
I was still in high school. I was like finishing high school. at the
Oh,
time,
wow.
Right?
Okay, that's
So
crazy,
I was
yeah.
just like, so just to put it into context before we get too deep, what I wanted to say was, and this is where I really put it into context for JJ, right? And by the way, I'm not singling out Humble. Humble, I love you, bro. You're a good dude, right? Humble is the exact same age as me, and not only it's exact same age to the point where we're born on the exact same day, on the exact same year,
shit.
July 12th. July 12th is the exact same birthday,
Yeah.
right? So what I'm trying to say is, when there's a statement out there that Humble is pioneered the urban Desi music scene, what I'm trying to tell you is, I'm born on the exact same day as this guy, but you didn't hear about him till 8 years after me,
Yeah.
right?
Is that true? That timeline?
Maybe 8,
Oh,
maybe
okay.
6,
Yeah.
whatever,
yeah,
give or take,
okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
But
Yeah, I was
Dude,
out of
well, if
I
you
was
say-
out of university
Well,
when
if you
we
say
started working together.
2001, then that is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Because
100%, right?
Humble them came around
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2008, 9.
yeah, 2008, 2009, right?
Uh-huh.
So basically, all these people started hitting me up, and I didn't know Roach at this time. And basically, what happened was, my boy Decause. I said to him, "Man, the conversion rate at the time from UK dollars to Canadian dollars was 2.3.
Yeah.
So when they started giving me £2,000-3,000 to license a track off me, that's more than double here.
Yeah.
18 years old. You give me 3,000 pounds. It's like almost $7,000. I'm rich, right? I'm like, man, I ain't ever working again, right? So I started telling Decaz, I'm like, man, I think something's going on in England. We should go out there. We packed this backpack up with 1,000 CDs, flew out to England not knowing anyone.
You didn't even know him yet.
No, I had.
Oh, we knew each other, but we were like, I didn't like him.
Yeah, so, and then we went out there and we took the Canadian hustle of, I'm going to stand in Leicester Square every day and I'm going to battle every dude that walks by. And in a week, I sold 1,000 CDs.
On the street.
On the street, just battling dudes. And that's when I kind of realized that music is not about the music, it's about how you make people feel. Because I would tell people, hey, do you want to buy my mix CD? And they'd be like, no. And I'd say, okay, listen, I'm going to freestyle for you or I'll battle you. And if you like it, you buy my CD. And then I would see their eyes light up.
Yeah.
Every time I would talk about what they're wearing or I would talk about how pretty the girl
Either
was
that or you
whatever.
gave them some serious pressure where
Yeah,
they're like,
yeah,
all right, I'm gonna have
exactly,
to buy this.
And then, Roach, when was the first time we met?
First time I met Blitz I was at the studio with Earl in Rexdale.
But what
And,
year was that, you think?
That
02?
was I was doing Allied Forces, so that was around 2001, 2000, about 2000, 2001. Actually, no, I met you before that because I met you like 98 because you knew me from Digitize as well.
Yeah.
So anyways, I met him. He came. I went to the studio because I had a recording session. I went to Earl's studio and this guy was sitting there. It was you, I think, Basic.
And maybe
And I
MD.
think MD
I
might have
think
been
MD came with us.
MD
yeah.
was there
So
as well.
that track,
MD.
Hum Tumare, I'm Yours, you made before this.
Yeah, I made that. That was Cameron's beat.
Because
That
I
was
seen
Cameron's
it
beat.
on YouTube and it was like
Yeah.
2000, like later, 11 or something.
Well, I
but
put it up in 2011.
Yeah, because remember,
but
we never had YouTube back
there
then.
was no
right?
YouTube.
But I
yeah.
heard that track when I was in high school. That's why I was
Yeah,
tripping
yeah.
because I was driving by my high school on the way here from work right now,
Right.
and I had that like nostalgic feeling. Like I remember being in high school hearing this track, but I was
Right.
like, the timeline doesn't add up because I knew I was
Yeah.
in high school when I heard that track.
It's a different story.
So the crazy
Yeah.
thing is that, and this is what me and JJ talk about all the time, is that we grew up in a time where there was no Instagram or Twitter, right? So the fact that our buzz was so big that people in the UK were calling me, paying me $6,000-$7,000 at a time to go to have my tracks, and same with him. Imagine how big our buzz was on the streets. There was no internet.
Yeah.
We weren't on TV. We weren't on the
Like,
radio.
It was to the point where I remember in high school, I don't know what grade this
Well,
was.
yeah, I
but
want to
all
know
remember,
from you, like,
buddy,
what was everybody in high school
in high
saying?
school,
Like,
we went at Hanson. Well, I went to Rick Hanson. So at Rick Hanson, we have like this massive street, and there's like a little bit of a lot area where everyone goes and chills
Right.
afterwards. I remember vividly. I remember Cameron, because Ali went to our school.
Right.
Cameron's younger brother,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Ali went to our school. Ali, Cameron. I think like DJ Sanj was there, and I think there was like a whole bunch of other dudes, and there everyone had your CD playing, or people had your CDs in hand,
Yeah.
and all I remember is hit pass. That was like
Right from here, yo.
that was the song
That was dope.
that if anyone was gonna listen to for South Asian hip hop, that was it.
And
anybody
that beat was
I
dope.
asked that's like from my area that came
Right,
out
right.
because we're senior citizens too. We're
Right,
around
right,
Oh,
you guys.
and don't get me wrong, you also had a very strong influence with MD's
Of course.
entire
MD
fucking
MD's
family.
entire family
I think
went to Rick Hanson,
90% of your family went to Hanson.
Yeah.
And so anybody I asked, I was like, you guys remember?
Yearbook had the same last name.
100%.
Right.
Anybody I would ask about your guys' era with that whole rap scene, they were all saying the same thing. That one track, hit pass. So
Hit, hit,
that was
pass.
a big track.
And
that
that's the
everybody-
thing, whereas it's like people need to realize, just to put things into context of how big the buzz was.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys got to realize is that you guys don't think of Humble as old. Well, I mean, you think of him as older, but you don't think of him as, he's the exact same age as me. It's just the fact that I started popping when I was in high school. That was happening when I was in high school.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm still monetizing off of
Exactly,
it today.
and that's the point. The point we're trying to make is like he was popping off when he was in high school. I was popping off when I was in junior high school.
Junior high, yeah.
No, but the difference is so that I think the wording was wrong on our end. I don't think it
No, I
was
mean,
him.
bro, that's
We're just- we're just trolling.
But
we're
just
trolling,
FYI,
bro. It's all good. Look, I
'cause
love
I know-
Humble. Humble's a good cat, and he's mad talented. I've worked on a
Really
track.
talented, yeah,
They
really
see
talented.
hip
But
hop we
even
did
he
together.
said himself,
He's dope,
he
man.
said
He's dope,
he
man.
said he didn't actually
we-
start till after high school or until after university. I think he's when he
But
actually
he was a
started.
teacher.
After he
Yeah,
was teaching.
it was when he was
yeah.
teaching. That's when he actually
Absolutely,
started.
You know what it
Oh,
was?
man.
The humble era because it was on the internet.
It was on the internet.
It was
So
just
He
it's
pioneered
more,
that.
yeah.
He
Visual.
pioneered that internet.
yeah.
era
So he
for
took
sure.
advantage of a time
That's
where he
cool,
could
man.
just
Let's
spread
move on to the
word.
next topic.
Yeah.
We know we're just trolling, bro.
We're
wanted
just
to start
trolling,
off.
Humble. We're just
We
trolling
just
you.
wanted to start off and set the record straight that I'm the fucking king of the city.
I didn't know. You know what the crazy part is? I did not know you worked with Earl. You know, I'm if there's like
Daisy
if
Records,
there's
bro. That's
guys
us.
in the industry that I would love to meet, and I've never said this guy's name, but because me and him talk all the time.
Right.
Camp Frantic, True School. Earl Friends was a huge part of me growing
Bro,
up, man.
of
I remember
course,
going
bro.
to
Toba,
Old Boy
Toba.
music video or video, audio, whatever the hell it was,
Yeah.
on fucking Kennedy,
Bro.
and picking up CDs left, right, and center, and it was always
we were-
Earl Friends. He had that one with the fucking subwoofer on it.
Yes,
he had a
Toba,
certain Vega on it. Oh, man,
the
crazy.
Carl Nike remixes. Well, we used to do all of that, right? And
Crazy.
that's like early 90s, not even mid. That's early, like
crazy.
same time when Bally Sagu and Apache Indian were doing their thing. That's when we were doing our thing. Right when Jazzy B dropped Cookie
Was-
and the Joda.
Was Russell
Damn.
Peters on the intro
yeah.
for Kid Spice?
Yeah, and
he
Russell
was, right?
Peters. Do you know that Russell Peters was actually a boxer?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he used to
yeah,
box.
yeah.
Yeah,
He was.
yeah.
I didn't know
that.
Him and-
Did
and
you
Lennox
also know he
Lewis,
was a
learned from
DJ?
them.
Hell yeah, that everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Right?
Simpsons, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
right?
The
So-
Simpsons cover.
He had the Carl Nike remix of the G Thang beat. Do you remember that?
So you end up going to UK. You're
Right.
hustling your CDs, and then did you stay in UK?
So basically, what happened was because I was so young, I still had to go to school.
Yeah.
So
What are your parents saying this time? You're saying you're going out there, you're getting money. They're
I'm
like,
like,
oh.
I'm going
Can
out.
Can I say what your dad said? His dad said he goes Blitz met the chaku maru.
He says,
Oh, your dad
Serious
calls you
guy.
Blitz? Your
No,
dad
he
calls
didn't
you
call
Blitz?
me
He goes Tony. He goes Tony. He goes Tony.
He said Blitz.
He
He's
goes
like,
Tony
Tony.
met the chaku maru.
you really
so-
said that to you?
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he knows. He was a serious guy. So basically, what happened was, so I put out that first album, and then PMC heard it. He was all on it. All these people from UK started getting on. Like basically paying me money, licensing money off, like licensing tracks off.
How did you know the whole licensing game at that point?
I
Like,
didn't, though.
So,
I didn't. I was in high school.
so like you made music, and how do you know like what process do you go through to license a track?
I didn't know. They were just like, hey, we're going to put out a compilation through Universal Music. It's called Urban Fusion. You can look it up. It's through Universal Music UK. And they hit me up, and they're just like, hey, listen, we're going to send you a licensing contract. Look it over, and we're going to pay you like £3,000. That's all I heard.
You didn't even read it. You just
I
signed
didn't even
it,
read
but
it. I
go
was like,
back,
bro, I got $7,000. I'm rich, right? So basically, what happened was at that point, I got introduced through one of my friends at the time. One of my friends, this guy, Neely Ladd, he took me over to his house. He said, man, they're playing your music in the UK on the radio. He had internet, like a higher speed internet than I did. So I went-
28.8?
Yeah, whatever it was, right? So I went over, I listened to it, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. They're playing my stuff out there. And then I've always been a team-oriented guy. If you ever watch any of my moves, I don't like to move solo. I like to move in a team. That's why I'm so loyal to Roach. That's why I'm so loyal to
Shout
anybody.
out
who hangs on-
22K,
Yeah, shout out to
right?
22K.
Yeah.
That's when I created 22K. Me and MD, we go so back that my friend who named me, Robbie, he, rest in peace. He passed away, but his family, he's from Meadowville. His family lived in MD's area. So he would go back to Square One, which is where MD grew up, every summer. And he would stay in touch with us and say, hey, man, come hang out with me over here. So we jump on the number 10 bus from Meadowville, go to Square One, hang out with these guys. And we'd hang out with Robbie's cousins and them. And then all of a sudden, they started telling me, yo, our buddy Mandeep raps. You guys should rap together. And I was like, man, we're already friends anyways. Let's start rapping. And then I named him MD. Ask him. I named him MD.
MD.
So we...
Don't tell me you named JD
boy,
too,
MD.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he came up with a name. Like, he was like, what do you think? And I was like, yo. He had a few variations.
JD's like, hell no over there.
There was editing on that trip to Chicago. Yeah. But, so what basically happened is we created this crew. It was me, MD, this guy named Dakaz, who was a Punjabi Rasta. And at the time, nobody had seen a
Nobody's
Punjabi
seen it,
Rasta.
100%.
And just, it's so weird. It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie. This guy, Dakaz, that we met, Sonny, who was a Punjabi Rasta, was part of his old crew, which was digitized.
Ninth Colony.
Ninth Colony, yeah.
That's-
So it just kind of like, it was almost like destined that we would work together because
Is that
Goddamn.
where MD got his Sicilian roots from?
Indian
I told him today, I was like, that was the hardest
Yo,
line ever,
MD
man.
was
MD was lyrical.
Yeah.
MD was
He was
lyrical,
that
and he had this voice, and people would come up
You
to
could
me.
hear his voice.
People would come up to me. His voice was so prominent on the mic. People would come up to me and say, "Yo, is this like some 300-pound black guy that's jacked from jail?"
swear to
And I'm like,
God.
"No, he's like some Punjabi guy that goes to Turner Pension, right?"
But when you hear him, you're scared of the
You're
voice.
scared of the
But
voice,
yes,
100%.
MD, where did you get that Gucci hat and that Gucci sweater from in that video?
In that,
From Canal Street, Brooklyn.
man.
But basically, what happened was, so we created 200K. We started licensing stuff. BBC Asian Network was popping at this point. This is where the whole world every week listened to Punjabi Hit Squad on BBC Asian Network.
It was like Friday nights or something, right?
Yeah, it was
I
something
remember
like
that.
that.
I used to
And
listen.
basically, they weren't used to our hustle, the North American hustle. Soon as they gave me, like, they opened that door, I kicked it open. I said, "Oh, you're gonna play my music?" I had MD, I had Basics, I had 2 other MCs with me. I was like, "I'm giving you a new track every week." I used to ship them CDs. So when I flew out there, they were like, "Man, we've never seen this type of hustle. You're flying out here every 6 months on your own money, and you're just battling people on the streets. Like, we've never seen this before." So it was only a matter of time where, at the same time, coincidentally, he was doing the same thing in Manchester. I was doing the same thing in London.
Okay.
So I'll kind of just transition to him at that point. Yeah.
So you're in Toronto, Roach, and then do you see what's going on in the UK and you say I'm going too, or
Nah. Basically, I actually went. My brother actually was married to a girl from England, so I went. He had a baby, so I went to England. And while I was there, I had no idea. Like, I grew up to the whole. Basically, I grew up to the whole Balisagoo Apache Indian era, and then I phased out of it. I got more on the streets. I didn't care about the Indian scene. I got more into the hip hop and the Mob Deeps and the Nas. I was living on the street. And then around 2002, 2003, when he had a baby, I went out to UK. And when I was out there, one of my cousins told me, Shoot.
Shout out to Apache.
Shout out to Apache, the Don Raja. So I went out there, and my cousin started telling me, he's like, yo, there's a BBC Asian network here, and these guys are popping off called Rishi Ray, Jay Sean, and Juggy D. So I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, let me hear the stuff. So he played me that tune, Dance With You.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, all right, cool. So I had my CD. I was still popping, doing my thing. So I was like, all right, I hit up Ada Ray, BBC Asian Network. Ada Ray was a host at 10 p.m. every night, drive at nighttime, right? So I hit him up and I was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm Roach Killa from Canada, blah, blah. I wanna drop my music. Like, hopefully you guys will play it. So he's like, all right, send me the CDs. So I went and dropped off the CDs. 2 weeks, so he hit me back up. He's like, yo, I love your music. Anytime you're in the UK again, you'll hit us up. Maybe we'll come do an interview. I'm like, all right. 2 weeks later, I hit him up. I was like, yo, I'm in the UK again. Let me come get an interview. He blanked me.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, yo, come on, dog. Blank me. I'm hit him up again, blank me. I'm like, you know, fuck that. Jumped on the train from Oxford, and I'm going to Birmingham. And this is when BBC Asian Network was in Pebble Mills. Not even a mailbox, back in the days, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to intercept this motherfucker. Fuck that. I'm going to go there. Got there. His show started at 10. I was there about 9 o'clock. So I'm sitting there in the lobby like this, right? Waiting. No signs of him. Come 9:45, I see man rolling in, right? So I intercept him like, yo, Ada, what's going on? It's Roach. He's just like, right? He's like, you know. I'm like, yo, this and that. This is my music, blah, blah. You told me I'd come interview. I want to interview. He looked at me. He's like, bro, this is BBC. I can't just take you up. Like, there's guidelines. I can't just take you like that. He's like, but I could take your music from you, your other stuff that you got. I could take it from you. So I'm like giving all the sob look like, all right, man, whatever, right? I'm like, come on, man. He's like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, all right, whatever. Gave my CD. I start walking out. As I was walking out, the guy's like, Roach. I turn around. He's like, come with me, man. So I was like, no way. So he took me upstairs. Not only did he give me an interview, he gave me a 1 hour interview.
Oh shit.
Sat in there. I was like gobsmacked looking around like shit. You know, this is shit my dad listens to BBC all his life. He's been listening to that shit. I'm like, wow, I'm in this place. Did the interview. It was really nice. Mad love. Went back. Took all that shit with me. Went back. I took Jay Sean's beat, Richie Rich's beat. I jacked that shit. Took his beat. Took the 4-bar loop that they left. They fucked up. Right? Richie fucked up. Gave me that loop. Went back. Did the tune. Now watch this funny story. Mad love to everybody, but watch the true story. Did the loop. Did a whole song over called Talking. Sent it to fucking Ada Ray. Ada Ray was loving it. He's like, yo, I'm going to get this shit playlisted. This is dope. Send it to Punjabi Hit Squad. Send it to Bobby Friction. Send it to everybody. Blank. Nobody even responding back. I'm hitting up Punjabi Hit Squad. I'm like, yo, dog, what's up? Nothing. What's up? Nothing. Eventually, because I kept on bombarding them, they hit me back up. They're like, yo, Roach, you know what it is? Yeah, we're not feeling this track as much, yeah? But, keep doing your thing. It's not like we're not feeling your hustle, but, just keep doing your thing. Cool. I was like, all right, cool. At least you got back to me fair play. You don't like it? That's cool. It's constructive criticism. It's all good. So Adi Ray, what he does is he playlists a song. Playing the tune, Rishi Rich is driving one day and he hears the tune. So he calls up the radio station. He's like, Adi, who the fuck is that on my beat? And he's like, it's Roach Killa from Toronto. He's like, who's rapping? He's like, Roach Killa. He's like, who's doing the reggae? He's like, Roach Killa. He's like, yo. And he goes, is he black? He's like, nah, he's fucking Desi. So he's like fucking wondering, like, what the fuck? He's like, where is he from? He's like, from Toronto. So watch this now.
That's what he just said is what everybody probably thinks till this day after you're going to clear up who is Roach Killa and what are you? Because I thought, is he black? Is he fucking African? Is he Jamaican? I can't fucking figure it out.
I'll get into that too, right? So at that time, Rishi Rich and them, they had a label called 2.9. Do.0, right? So Billy Grant and Rob, right? So Billy Grant flew from UK to come meet me here in Mississauga at, I think it was like the Best Western or wherever the fuck he was staying. Yeah. He met me there, brought me a contract and said, yo, we love that track. We want to sign it to 2.9. I was like, yo, I don't give a fuck. They're like, yo, get this percentage. There's no money, this and that. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the money. You know what I mean? Just take the song and let me, as long as I can perform and do whatever. Cool. Now watch the twist of the turn. Listen to these people. Takes a song, signs it. Obviously, they got the fucking pull, right? Suddenly, the song is playlisted on Asian Network. It's on Punjabi Hit Squad. It's on BBC. It's on Bobby Friction show. Every show. So the same song you just told me that you weren't feeling it wasn't good enough. Yeah. Suddenly, because who's giving it to you, it became good enough.
Yeah.
So that was my first entry to the BBC Asian Network. That was my first entry to the UK scene. They heard the name Roach Killa and the beat you're playing right now in the back. Yeah. That's how I got introduced to the UK scene.
And I guess the industry as a whole, because I'm sure, you guys have both been in it a long time. You've probably seen a whole lot of bullshit in the way people are and the way that you got to deal with people. Yeah. But, how do you move forward after seeing something like that?
But the thing is that I get it. I get it because if I'm in that position and I don't know anybody, imagine how many people hit them up, right? How many people are harassing them? Yo, please play my song. Please play my song. So it's the same thing as mainstream. So I guess they run it the same way. As in, like, if I go right now to I don't know what stations are even out there in Flow or whatever runs over. Say 103.5. I want my song on it, and I keep sending it to them like personally, like here instead of a radio plug or anything. Labels through it. They're not gonna play it. But if a label sends it to them, they'll probably play the same song because it's coming from the right channel. So I get it. So shout out to them because once I broke the door, then they really saw the talent. So shout out going out to Mark, shout out going out to BBC, shout out going out to Punjabi Hit Squad, Bobby Friction, Nihal. After that, they supported me big time because I guess there was a protocol that I had to go through, which I get, And
did you sign with 2.9 like a long-term thing, or was it that one track deal?
It was just that one track for that time.
Okay.
And then after that, basically, I came back and I came up, I was sitting in the studio. It was me and Earl that were sitting in the studio and we made this beat. And the beat was so dope, and I wrote a story type of a track over this beat, and I was like, you know what? I need a banger of a hook on this. Banger. And by coincidence, I met Shahid Ali Khan.
Oh, shit.
By coincidence. First of all, shout out going to Shahid Ali Khan, but the first time I met him, I wanted to kill him.
Oh, wow.
You know why? Because we performed downtown in City Hall. And the guy is, obviously his voice is so powerful. So when my part came, he started doing a lops over it. So imagine that I'm trying to rap and he's going, and I know he can fucking hear me, you know what I mean? I'm trying to scream my lungs and this guy's screaming. So I was like, long story short, he came in the studio and you know how the song came about? It was freestyle on behalf of Shahid Ali Khan. He got into the studio. I didn't even take him to Earl's studio. I took him to an Italian guy's studio. So he gets in there. He starts going, Dil tere to varaga. He's just singing off the top. And then all of a sudden he started going, like, the Kawalis, they go and must, and then he's like, Yara dile dana tere naale pyare karna. Yara. I was like, yo, don't fucking stop.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. That's my all-time favorite Roach Killa track. 100%. Can we hear that track?
Yeah, let's pump that. You know what?
Yeah.
That was when I first heard of Roach Killa was Yara Del Dana. Somebody sent it to me over MSN, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in this?
You know what's so crazy about this song? So we both got signed around the same time. Tiger Style signed me. Surinder Ratan signed him.
No, Surinder did not sign me.
Whatever.
Movie box.
Whoever signed you.
Movie box,
whatever, right? So what happened was my album just ended up coming out first. So we would always go at that time, like, yo, me and him are like family, we're tight. So I'm like, yo, bro, we're going out there. Let's rinse it. I was on the BBC Asian Network Freshers Tour, had 17 gigs over 20 days.
Yeah.
So we were just killing the UK. And the craziest thing, do you remember this story, bro? We got off the first date we had there, right? Manchester, the first date we had in Manchester. We landed in Glasgow, recorded with Tiger Style, drove down to Manchester. We had our first gig. 2 Toronto guys from just in Manchester. We don't know where the hell we are.
You guys
right?
drove?
Like from
Scotland.
Glasgow.
That's
Scotland.
crazy.
Yeah, right?
No, we didn't drive.
Too.
As a matter of fact, hold on.
Yo, fucking driving in England is fucked.
Yo, I drive in England, bro. What you trying to say, bro?
We live there now.
He's a Brit, right?
Hey, listen, man. Shout out going out to Collie Buds because that whole
that-
journey,
that was our-
that Collie
as
Buds
anthem.
album was fire.
Every
bro.
time the herbs come around.
So, yeah,
Finally, the herbs come around.
So we get to Manchester. Yo, I'm gassed. I'm like, yo, my album's out, bro. I'm on a tour. Yo, man's in Toronto don't know
Made
me,
it.
bro. You know? So I'm like,
making
yo,
the
I got my
bond.
brother with me. Yo, we killing it. We get off stage, right?
his bubble just popped.
Yo, these girls walk up to us. They're like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, bitch, it's Blitz, right? Hey, yo.
So hold on.
Like,
So watch, I'll tell you a story. So Blitz is like, yo, yeah, what's up, girl? You know, let me holler at you, this and that. So she's like, yeah.
There was
here's
no
my-
holler.
No, hold on. I'm talking 10 years back, 12 years back. Don't get twisted. Anyway, so he's like, yo, here's my number. I'm going to give you a missed ring. So that's my number. So he gives her a call just to get the number. And her fucking phone rings, and it's Yara Del Dara as a ringtone.
Yo, she had Yara Del Dara as her ringtone.
No.
And his album, yo, bro, the song
That's
wasn't out.
fucking
The
crazy.
song wasn't out. The album wasn't out. Like
Nothing, it wasn't even out
nothing
yet.
was out. And I was just like, I looked at this guy and I'm like, bro, you got a banger on your hands right now, bro.
100%.
This is gonna take you from here.
That shit put me
to
on the
here.
map, real talk. That tune,
Yeah,
even till today, is
100%.
like everyone tells me that's one of my best tunes, and I agree to that.
Let's
Why don't
hear
we
that
listen to
track.
it?
Why don't you get
Let's
the
take
intro
a-
for it, Roach?
Yeah, do an intro.
For that track.
Yo, it's your boy Roach Killa in Toronto. This is my first single into the music scene. Well, at least the Asian music scene in the UK. Yara Del Dara. Big shout out going out to Shahid Ali Khan. Big shout out going out to the producer, Surrender/Earl Ferns, man. Bra.
Yeah, Roach Killa, Surrender Ratting, Shahid Ali Khan. Yeah, we done it again. Oh, this one for you. Oh,
दिल तेरे तो वारा गीत कॉल निभावा दिल तेरे तो वारा गीत कॉल निभावा दुनिया दी परवाह नहीं मैनू जान दी बाजी लावांगा यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार करना यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार करना यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार करना यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार
yeah. Hey, yo,
करना
the moment affects me, moment upsets me. For all the things I ever done wrong, she left me. Anytime I ever need gone, she helped me. She knew about her girls, but still she kept me. But think back though, to the times that we met. You was on the front line, had my eyes on your set. Matter of fact, let the style of your dress. You who would've thought, girl, that this guy would've stepped. This guy would've stressed, but he lie and pretend. So instead of himself, he would try for his friend. Excuse me, miss, I got a friend for you. Here to take you for a walk, I was sent for you. Through the night, we done chill, yeah, we laugh, we talk. Until somebody grabbed you that was acting tough. To the point, I got mad like that's enough. Seen him running for the dough like, damn, what's up?
दिल तेरे तो वारा गीत कॉल निभावा दिल तेरे तो वारा गीत कॉल निभावा दुनिया दी परवाह नहीं मैनू जान दी बाजी लावांगा यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार करना यारा दिल तेरा तेरे नाल प्यार
All right, and we're back. We just listened to Yara Del Dara with Roach Killa featuring
Yeah,
Shahid
yeah,
Ali Khan.
yeah.
Dope track, one of my personal favorites. So I'm
Respect.
glad that we got to play that one.
Respect.
Roach Killa, we got to give a big shout out to Tarn Core, who just came in the room.
Tarn! Hey! Murado.
Asia Bride Magazine, the creator of that. So she's a good friend of Blitz as well.
Of course.
Yeah,
All right, so Roach, this
She's
track.
my friend too, man.
She's your friend too, yeah. Roach, this track comes out, Yara Del Dara. You said that this was the track that changed your life, basically.
Yeah, basically.
So tell me what happens in your life after.
So basically, so this song I actually done this song in 2006. I took it to the UK, like just on a hustle, like we were out there just passing CDs out to people. So the song kind of got out on the underground circuit, and like you mentioned earlier, the
Girls
girl
are
had
having
it,
ringtones.
she had it on the ringtone and stuff, and it was kind of like mind-boggling for us because remember we're just two cats from Toronto, and like it was really like, you know, surreal to see like, wow, your music is actually getting out to people and they're actually genuinely loving it. It's not just your family and friends like, oh, Paji, you're good, no, you're good, you know. So that song is out. Then come like 2009 is when I actually released it. The song was actually done 2006. 2009, I released the song, and watch the story. This is gonna divert into what we just spoke about, right? Off air. So the song comes out. BBC Asia Network charts. #1 song was Amplifier. Came out Yara Dil Dara.
Okay, I know where this is going.
Right?
Yeah.
Came out Yara Dil Dara. And the following week, boom, Yara Dil Dara knocked off Amplifier off the top chart and it became #1. So I called Blitz, right? I'm like, yo, dog, what you think the number is on the charts this week? He's like, yo, at least get to #2, bro. At least get to #2. I'm like, yo, shut the fuck up. It's #1, bro. And he's like, and you know what he said to me? He goes, I'll call you back. He went and actually checked online to see the charts.
And just so those of you who don't know, Amplifiers by Imran Khan and
Imran Khan.
Imran Khan.
Imran Khan.
Imran can't do it. Yeah.
And
Can't.
So this segues into something that was actually a public issue. You had an issue with Imran Khan, right?
Nah, actually, he had an issue with me, apparently.
Okay.
Basically, I'll tell you a story about Imran Khan quickly. So it wasn't even back then. It was actually once the song knocked him off the charts, which was cool. I mean, I'm not even going to take away from it. Amplifier was a huge worldwide track, so it's nothing like that. So
knocked him off the #1 spot.
On the #1 spot off the BBC Asian Network charts, which was like pretty much the main charts for our scene, you know? So after that, Imran came to Toronto, and it was Jay Gatsby that was dealing with him over here. He came down. Jay Gatsby is a great friend of ours. So Imran came over here. We had a gig. We were doing the Anoki party, and Imran was performing. I was emceeing the party. And me and Imran were cool, man. We became really good friends. We hung out together, did a lot of stuff. Anytime he had gigs in UK, he'd call me to the shows and stuff, and it was really dope. Like, we had a really good friendship. And then come like 2012, I released Oh Girl, one of my tunes. And I guess maybe I don't know why, but suddenly he felt like I was competition to him. I don't know why, because I was singing more like Punjabi, but reggae and English rather than he was just singing strictly Punjabi. So he started like suddenly when that song came out, I could feel a little bit tension come in. I feel a bit, animosity. I feel a bit distance come in, which I really didn't pay attention to. Then he dropped Satisfier. And listen, I didn't say this. People in the UK started, even the DJs and stuff started saying, oh, sounds like Imran Khan sounds like Roach Killa on this track. I didn't say it. So that kind of fueled the fire even more to him. I still had no beef, had no issues, no problems with him. I didn't even know what was brewing behind the stage. So we had a show in Paris together. It was me, Imran Khan, I think Bonafide, Prophecy, and a couple other artists, right? So the promoter came to see me, gave me the deposit, and he's like, yo, the show's that, this day, whatever, this and that. Long story short. A couple weeks later, he calls me up and he's like, hey, bro, have you got any beef with Imran Khan? And I was really new to this whole beef thing. I was like, no, not really. I'm thinking he's my boy, we're all good. He's like, nah, I think you have some beef with him. I was like, no, I have no issues with him. He's like, well, Imran called and he said that he's not going to perform on the show unless you're off the show. So I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I'm still not believing it, you know what I mean? I'm like, it can't be true. He's like, yeah, but I told him, no, we can't do that because we've already paid you the deposit. This is where it got tricky. He turned around to them and said, I'll give you that deposit from my own pocket.
Oh, shit. He really didn't want you
He
on
really
that show.
didn't want me on the show.
And
So-
you didn't have any sort of idea coming
No,
up to
I had
this.
no idea, bro.
You must have heard the brewing about he sounds like you or Satisfier or whatever. You didn't hear none of that?
No, I heard that, of
Uh-huh.
course, and I'll get into that in a minute as well. And this will bring DJ Cameron into the limelight. Pretty funny. But we'll get into that in a minute.
It's funny, I just seen both of them about a week ago.
Yeah, about a week ago. So, anyway, so basically this is what he told the promoter. So promoter's like, no, I'm not going to take Roach off. So he told him, he said, look, okay, whatever you do, I don't want to be in the same hotel as where Roach is staying. I'm going to say, what the fuck kind of shit is this? Whatever. Anyways, long story short, got to the show, did my show. So now we're backstage. I've done my thing. Backstage, Imran's supposed to come and do his thing. He's the last guy, so I was the second last guy. He was the last guy. Promoter came up to me. He's like, bro, I'm really sorry to say this, but I really apologize for telling you this, but Imran said he's not going to come down to the stage until you leave the venue. I'm like, yo, what kind of a fucking man is this? Like, if you have an issue with me, talk to me like a banda, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, whatever, bro. So we left. Long story short, we're gone, right? That was the first incident.
You performed and he came back.
I performed.
Yeah.
They said, yo, you got to leave or Imran's not going to perform. Please don't make her lose her money because he's being a dick. I said, all right, cool. I left. That was one time. Then came Toronto. There was a show at Body English. So it was me, H-Dami, Imran Khan, and I think Culture Shock. This is a while back, right? 2012 or 13, I can't remember when it was. Come to the place. As soon as I came in, the promoter of the show comes up to me. He's like, yo, bro, I can't have you touch the stage. I'm like, what you mean I can't touch the stage? He's like, Imran said if you touch the stage, he ain't gonna come on. So I'm like, yo, this is my city. You're fucking gonna tell me, yo, teri pehn di, right? Fuck that, man.
In the famous words of JJ, shut up,
right? I was like, okay, cool, no problem. Went on stage, did my thing. Anyways, I didn't give a fuck. Went and did my thing. Funny enough, the owner of the club was actually my friend from when I was like 12 years old. So he comes up to me before I went on stage. He comes up to me. He's like, yo, bro, whatever you want. Telling the bar staff, you want champagne, this and that, blah, blah, whatever you want. So they're giving all my friends everything. And Baba Khan and everybody is there. But they're just, having one drink at a time. Man's giving bottles and stuff. So these guys are getting even more ticked off. Imran and them are getting ticked off, like hating on even more. Long story short, I did my thing, came off stage, went and sat on a VIP. Even Surinder Rutten was down at that time, so he was DJing for me. Imran came on stage to the amplifier. So say this is the stage, right? Like right here, and I'm in the VIP right here because they had a booth on the actual stage. So I'm sitting here. He comes on like this. He came with a couple of people. Comes like this, and suddenly, like, he came on like he gave like the big look, like, yo, I'm the man with fuck this night. Get a shot down again, right? Like that, right? So one of his boys said something to my boy. So my boy just clocked him. Like right there on stage. Like, no, clocked his friend.
Oh, okay.
Clocked his friend, not Imran. Clocked his friend. No. It gets interesting. He clocked his friend, and then I'm not gonna mention who clocked Imran, right?
Oh shit.
So basically, within 30 seconds of him singing Amplifier, he ran off a stage.
He was performing at this time.
Yeah, he was in the middle of his fucking set. He was the first song. 30 seconds into Amplifier. Right? Before he even got to Jatti Meri Gaddi Ch Baith Ja. Gaddi Ch koi nahi baitha was. Kalla gaya se ghar, right? So he ran into the change room, right? And so we were like, everybody got gassed up, like, yo, if you want to act bad, okay, this is my city. You want to fuck around, I'll show you what's up. Like, if you can talk shit in Paris all you want. This is my city. Don't fucking talk shit. Come out. No, bro, he's not coming out. His boys are coming like, yo, bro, no, come on, Roach. We know you from time, this and that. So Cameron was there. DJ Cameron. He's like, yo, bro, come on, Roach. I know you from time, this and that. I go, bro, stop sucking his balls. Straight up told him, say, stop fucking sucking his balls. You want to end my friendship with you. You're from my city and you're sucking his dick. Because why? Because it's a business interest. But you got to live here. He's going to go home. Mm-hmm. My man's going to see you every day. So, you don't want to get caught up in that. So he was like, yo, bro, I had nothing to do with this. Suddenly, he's like, yo, I don't want no problem. Like, I don't want to do it. So, all right, cool. So we go outside now. Waited outside for like 10, 15 minutes. I was like, fuck this guy, the pussy. Out, we're gone. So next day, I'm filling gas and I see the owner of the club. And he looks at me, he's like, Roach, man, what's wrong with you, bro? I go, what do you mean, what's wrong? He's like, bro, the guy hid in the change room for 4 hours thinking you're outside. And he wanted me to call the cops so they can escort him out because he thought you were outside waiting for him.
Wow.
So, okay. I wasn't outside, but I mean, that's what. So the point what I'm trying to say is, bro, if you're a real bunda, if you talk the fucking talk on your records like you're this and I'm this and I could do this, then where are you, bro?
Has he ever actually addressed the situation?
Nah, because what's he gonna address? No, let's get back to this now. And I'm not putting Cameron under the bus here, but you
already did that.
No, bro. I just put him under the bus.
Cam's a good person, man.
No, I'm not dissing anybody, but I'm just telling you the story here. And if you guys want to know this, or are you guys gonna catch feelings?
No.
No.
DJ M, you're gonna catch feelings.
Look at that grin on JJ's face during this whole story.
I'm just like,
Hold on, do you guys want to hear this
I
story?
feel like shit's going down like this right now.
Okay, so let's hear the story. So
Put some respect.
Respect on my name.
So when that whole, then I think this was before Satisfy came out. So when Satisfy came out, when people started saying, yo, this sounds like Roach Killa, right? So they get even more fucking upset. So then what happened? Cameron on his Twitter started kind of like talking back to me on Twitter because I was like, bro, if whatever, if you want to talk shit, let's bring it on. Like what? Cameron started talking shit online. Blah, yo, you're just trying to get fucking fame off of Imran Khan, this and this. And I said, bro, I'm not even saying anything, first of all. Long story short, I got pissed off. I said, Cameron, I'm not the Twitter type of guy. Go ask people around me. I'm from fucking Scarborough, bro. We can handle a business. Like, it's no issue. Let's do the whichever way you want to do this. But we're not internet fucking gangsters because when we grew up, there was no internet. We don't be internet gangsters. So I just said, fuck this, because I'm in the UK, you're in Canada, so you don't think you're untouchable. No problem. Made one phone call, man's landed at his fucking gig and caught him outside, Cameron. And no word of a lie, he fucking started crying. No, and then he spilled the beans and he said, you know what he said? He said, bro, that wasn't me. That was Imran Khan using my Twitter handle.
Oh, shit.
Talking to you. So that was Imran talking to you on that Twitter handle. It wasn't me.
Hey, man, you heard the truth from Roach.
So if anybody wants to come over here and talk about it and rebuttal it,
Yeah.
please do so. Because this is coming out of your own mouth, bro. And I can call the man that went and pull up on the mans. So point what I'm trying to say is, bro, the whole thing of people ask about Imran Khan, I'm not hating on Imran Khan. I couldn't give a fuck. Do you know what I'm saying? Man's been singing the same song for the last 10 years. Every fucking song sounds like Amplifier.
Yo, that's true.
Well, I don't know.
How much can you love a car?
Wait, what
How
did you
much-
say? You said that's true?
I was
how
gonna
much-
say
You said that's true.
Kind of true.
It's kind of
No,
true.
no, you
Okay,
said that's
hold
true.
on.
Come on, man. Up to what you said.
It's true. It's true.
Okay,
That's true.
Amplifier,
But
Satisfier, fucking Night Rider.
Nothing
like-
has hit as hard as Amplifier. Nothing has hit as
was a
hard as that
worldwide
first
smash.
album.
That was a
Well, hold
worldwide
on.
smash.
Let's give credit where credit is due. He
Hey,
made,
he's a
he
great
made some
artist.
good
Bro,
music.
his
Yeah,
first
he
album
made
was
some
great.
good
Look,
music.
I'm not
But
hating-
I mean, through the grapevine, I have heard that he's probably not the greatest guy to deal with. I've heard that from a lot of different people.
Look,
you know?
bro, all
That
I'm saying is,
he's a bit
look,
of a
look,
jerk.
going-
you know?
let me set the record
He doesn't have
straight.
a lot of respect for people. I heard that.
I
from-
think he's a great musician. I think he's a great artist. But as a person, he's a pussy. That's just how I say that.
And there's a lot of
As a
people
person,
like that.
as a person,
A
bro, as a
lot of
person,
people
as a
like
person,
that.
he stinks. But as a musician, as an artist, he's a good creator. I'm not going to take away from that.
Yeah, yeah.
But my personal experience is what I'm talking. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about. I'm not hating on his music. Doing what you're doing, he's gonna have a fan base after that first album was dope. 5 mics on that motherfucker. If he was Source,
Yeah.
that album was dope.
Oh, yeah.
That was a game changer for the scene.
for sure.
Question.
For sure.
So has there been any talks between you two
Yeah.
since that point?
Yeah, so
okay,
I saw him last year. We did a Miller in Birmingham, and he pulled up, and I was standing there. He was supposed to go on right before me, so he saw me. So, like, say for example, like where that door is. So I was standing here, and he pulled up about that door, and he saw me from far, and I looked at him. He looked at me, and he went like this. He went, and he looked at me from far, and he just went, "Oh, like as you lost so much weight." And I said, yeah, this and that, whatever, like from far distance. Then he did a show. So he was walking off with security now, leaving this way, and I'm about to go on. He stopped, came towards me, and then he put his hand out. He gave me a hug. He's like, yo, get down, bro. I said, he goes, tu bo skinny ho gaya. I go, tu bo gangster man again, right? That's it, right? And then it was just like, at the end of the day, it was like, he put his hands up, so I don't believe in hitting people's
kinda,
like
no,
when-
well, it's kind of like I take that as apology almost.
yeah, like
without
basically
saying
saying
it,
like, yo, like, if you can't beat him, you might as well join him. Like, you know, so not this guy. You can't punk me off. I ain't a killer for fucking just the word, bro. Ass man's around me. I'm a street rude boy. You know what I mean? It don't work like that, bro. So long story short, I don't have no beef with the guy personally. I've even went to God, bro. I even went to Amsterdam by myself, and I messaged him and I said, yo, I'm here by myself. Aja, come. If you want to talk, if you're a man, I'm in your hood. I'm by myself. Come.
But let me ask you
And he was
this,
like,
Roach.
no,
So
bro, I'm in the States.
You've been in the industry a long time, okay, and you come from an area, Scarborough. If you're from Toronto, you know that where that side of town is from. But
East End.
knowing all that, didn't you at one point think, okay, I'm in the music game? Like, why take it to that level? This is music at the end of the day, right?
Bro, no music, bro. Respect is respect.
No, that wasn't music though. That was a personal.
Bro, if
thing.
you're stopping me from fucking
Yeah,
feeding my
that's a personal
family,
thing.
that's a personal thing.
100%.
It's not music. If you're coming on record and dissing me, I'll diss you back on a record. But suddenly, if you're trying to fucking stop my money of feeding me
Yeah.
and my family,
That's
then you're stepping on my jugular, bro.
True enough. But he did offer to pay the deposit, so you would have got paid still, no?
Hold on,
trying to be devil's advocate.
hold on. So you're saying I should be content with half the payment?
No, true enough. Yeah, you should have collected full.
It's the
payment. That's
principle,
what-
bro.
yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? It's the
it-
principle.
And if what you're saying is 100% true, that is a bitch move on his part.
Bro,
to do
it's
some
not
shit
if.
Like that. Yeah.
It's no if, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I
Well,
don't
we'll
give a
wait
fuck.
for. we
Maybe
got-
one day we'll get his side of the
Well, he's
story.
got to come tell his side now for
Yo,
sure,
he's gonna
right?
come
Everybody
tell
gets
his side,
equal
bro.
opportunity
Everybody.
to speak.
He's had many
Absolutely.
chances. I went on Bobby Friction show. I had the no filter with him,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me that question. I said exactly the same thing I said, minus the swearing.
Yeah.
And then they asked him. They tagged him like 10 times, asking him for a reply. He's not gonna reply because he knows if he replies, there's way more stories I could tell.
Yeah. How's your relationship with Cameron now?
Well, whatever, bro. I couldn't give a fuck. You know what I mean, bro? At the end of the day, like Cameron was only protecting his interest, his business interest. So I could understand like he's doing that, but what I don't respect him for it as a bunda.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Like if I see him, there's no problem. Yo, what's up? How you doing? All love, but you ain't my friend.
Blitz, you still taking beats from his brother or what?
That stopped a long time ago, bro. But I mean, yo, there's no malice. You know what I mean?
There's no malice, bro. I couldn't care.
Ali's too sick.
I couldn't care less.
Ali's sick, man.
All right. No, I mean, you got it off your chest. We appreciate you bringing that on here and clearing that air because I was curious about it, to be honest. I didn't know what was going on.
I actually didn't know about this until this.
Like right now.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I never. Well, I'm not.
Like the
fucking
Imran
Twitter
Khan
savvy.
Roach Killa beef. Like I
But-
had no idea. But like you know what? I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Bro,
You're probably one of the few people who's actually brought it up.
Yeah.
Bro, because
And
I
I
ain't
bet you-
scared to talk realness, bro. That's why I told you when I came in. I said, bro, if you're gonna censor any of this shit, then I'm leaving.
No,
Because
it's all good. I want to get back to something that he mentioned that I also thought was true. That you were signed by Surinder Ruttan and you got signed by Tiger Star.
Right. So, correction, he was signed by Movie Box, but yeah, I was signed by Tiger Star.
So why is there that misconception about Surinder Ruttan? Was he involved with the deal?
Yeah. No,
Okay. Surinder was-
was the one that introduced me to kind of Movie Box. But what we did was I signed directly to Movie Box, but I got Surinder. He produced the first album,
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
so he
Okay.
produced the whole album.
So I got a question.
So
Sorry.
shout out going out to Surinder, man.
Surinder Ruttan, he's like a plug, man. Like him and RDB, they came up
Yeah.
together. So how did you meet Surinder? Like how did that connection happen?
Actually, Surinder hit me up. I guess when he heard Talking, that song, you know, the one I did with Ron Rich's beat, because it was being playlisted everywhere in BBC, he heard the song as well. So he loved it because he's from Manchester. He loves reggae music. So the thing is that aside from like Apache and Cheshire Cat, there
Yeah.
was no reggae, man.
Is it Manchester's a big reggae city? I didn't know.
No,
that.
it's not that. UK is a huge, like UK is like Toronto.
UK is massive.
See, UK is like Toronto. It's like just like a Toronto
like a
lingo.
big melting pot.
So it's funny because right when I'm in the UK, right, and when Drake says, "Yo, roadman thing," like "Yo, a thing," this and that, so people make fun of him. They're like, "Yo, why is Drake trying to be a roadman?" Then I explain to them, I say, "He's not trying to be a roadman. That's our lingo. We talk just like you guys talk. It's a very Jamaican influenced lingo that we got. We don't say, 'Yo, word, Holmes.' We say, 'Yo, you done no brethren.'" So it's the same style that they do.
Yeah.
So that's why I think he loved the reggae, and the reason why a lot of people took to my style, like, no, we'll get into that after you. But the fact is, because I brought a sound that was almost extinct. Because people loved the reggae and Bhangra sound together, but then it started after Cheshire Cat, Bally Sagoo days. There was no one doing it.
Yeah.
Not name me one person. Like Mumsy does it here and there, but he's more of our singer, which I love. I love his voice. I think he's a dope artist. But as a full-on reggae sound, there was nobody. So there's a gap that I think I came and I filled.
Big time.
Which I think crowned him as the feature king. Like,
Bro,
I mean, I gotta
besides
say that
Miss
for
Pooja,
sure.
I think
Yeah.
I was the only person that. And the beauty about this is, bro, is that see when I do my albums, I feature people like Blitz. I feature people like Aman Sandhu. Like new artists, people that no one knows. So it's not like I'm trying to jump on people's names and brands and trying to take that brand and say, "Yo, help my brand push."
Yeah.
So every collabo that I've done, it's been their song. Miss Pooja featuring Roach Killa. You know, Gippy Gerwa featuring Roach Killa. Amin here featuring Roach Killa. Benny Taliba featuring K.S. Muckin featuring Roach Killa.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I was doing an interview in the UK just like a couple years back, and this guy asked me, he's like, "Roach, can I ask you a question? You know, you've done songs with the biggest artists and stuff, and how come you're not as big?" Right? So I laughed at him. I said, "Well, Paji, to be fair, if I wasn't any big, you wouldn't have me in your studio. Second of all, if I wasn't big, nobody would be asking me to do the songs. Simple as that. I'm not asking nobody to do. People are paying me to be on their track, so I must be doing something good. So thank you. I'm blessed, but thanks for your comment. Do you know what I mean?
There's two types of things that happen in the studio. It's either, oh, we should get some sort of rap on this, and rap means reggae or whatever the fuck they want it to mean, or you know that specific person
sound
you
you
want.
want.
Say it like the artist says it.
Rapper. You
Rapper.
should get a rapper on this.
Somebody
It's
said
either
that to
gonna
me.
be, buddy, down here.
Bro, somebody goes to me.
Rapper.
He goes, Roach Killa. I was in India. He goes, Roach Killa, Paji, rap karna, rape shape tani karna.
But where I'm getting at is, it's either you want a rapper, and that's an anybody who can speak English, or you want a specific Roach, Bohemia, Fate, somebody on your track
Miss
that
Pooja.
you know you want
For a specific sound.
for
yeah,
that,
of course.
because you know, and he had that,
Uh-huh. A
or
big,
has that.
big
Not even had.
feature that you did, and you actually went on stage and sung live with her was Nasibullah.
Yeah.
How did that
That's
come
crazy.
together?
Well, the thing is that we done a song called Heartbroken, and that was in 2012, and somebody actually leaked the song. I'm not gonna mention who leaked it.
I'm
but
curious.
those is
Well,
smart,
you know-
those-
Say it.
Hey, you said no filter, bro.
those
You
is
said
smart,
no
no,
filter.
say it.
Call
Let's
him
see
out,
it.
Come on, brother.
Call him
those-
out.
listen, bro, I'm not gonna say it.
Who do you
just-
think leaked it?
That's you said no filters.
Who do you
Bro,
think leaked
But
it?
the no filter comes from my end.
It's a one way.
It's a one way. There's no two way on this. So somebody leaked the track, and
That's gotta be someone that Someone
on
a
the
born,
song. Somebody that was on the song, and it wasn't Roach and Nasibo.
Hey, the song didn't even have Nasibo on that time, right? So anyway, so the song was there and it got leaked. Somebody leaked it, right? So the song actually became a hit underground, and I didn't know. I basically didn't know video for it, nothing, and it was doing like it done wonders for me. So a couple of years later, when I finally decided to put the song out, because the song was out for like 4 or 5 years before already, so I was like, you know what, we need to do something. People love the song and it's gonna do well regardless. However, we need to put a twist to it. So what do we do? So my label, Cameron from Moviebox, he said, you know what, it'd be really good if we can integrate the Pakistani artist Nasibo Lal, because that will bring a huge audience that you don't have on this track.
Big time.
So at first, the thing is that I didn't know too much about Nasibo Lal, to be honest, because I'm not really focused on the Pakistan. Personally, I don't know too much about Nasibo Lal. Like I didn't know, so I was kind of iffy about it. I was like, I don't know, bro. He's like, yo, trust me, this is gonna fucking bang. I'm like, all right. So when she sent the vocals, still didn't really think much of it when the song was made, and the song was actually produced by V, who does all of Guru Randhawa's production.
That's
now, right?
Sahara's younger brother, right?
No, it's Hunter's younger brother.
Hunter's younger brother. Sorry.
And I thought you knew things.
Shame.
Shout out Money
I hit Sahara in my head, but that's what I meant. Hunters. I've had like 4 pegs.
Yeah, because Sahara and Hunters look alike.
They don't.
One's got a pocket and the other one's bald.
I knew it was somebody from England.
Yeah, okay, you saved yourself. Yeah, so V. So we did that, and the track came out, and funny enough, bro, no word of a lie, the trailer, just the teaser, had 1 million hits.
Holy shit.
Just the teaser, because the song, everyone's anticipating that visuals. You
And
know what I mean, of the
those who
song.
don't know, can you explain who Nasibo Lal is now? Because I'm sure you know
Nasibo
now.
Lal is like, do you guys know, if people don't know, the legendary Pakistani singer Noor Jahan? Yeah. You guys know?
Yeah.
You know, so Noor Jahan, she was like legendary. She's like, I don't know, you can call her the Madonna of Pakistan.
She was
you
like
know what I mean?
she was like the Surinder Kaur Prakash Kaur of Pakistan.
Yeah, she was like the legend, right? So Nasibo Lal is like the protege of her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Those pitches that she hits,
Bro.
man, unreal.
So she's a massive name, and when she jumped on the track, anyways, long story short, this track came out and it did like a really, really good worldwide. And then she had a show in Birmingham, and they hit me up, and because I was in Birmingham, so they hit me up. They're like, "Yo, would like to come and do the song." And funny enough, bro, she's a massive star herself, right? So come now, she's never met me. I've only done the song off of the internet, you know what I mean, off the studio like that. So jump on stage now. And the crowd, as soon as I came, because it was her show, but then when she introduced me to come on stage, the crowd went wild, because it's Birmingham. I'm from Birmingham. It's my hometown, I guess you can call it, right? People are going mad. So she even stopped for a minute to say, yo, who is this guy? At the Mira show, I'm really like, yeah.
I've seen a couple of videos. How was the vibe? Like, because you got energy and she stands and sings, right?
It didn't matter, bro, because the song is so epic that people were just like mesmerized by the fact that there's 2 of these people live in front of us right now.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And it was, wow, what an experience, man.
Shout out to Sonny Tamber for shooting an amazing video.
Oh yeah, shout out Sonny shot that
he
video,
did
man.
shoot that.
Cineverse,
Absolutely.
man.
Yeah, I just saw that today.
That was dope, man.
guys wanna
Sonny
hear that
smashed
track?
it.
16, 17 million views,
we'll
man.
get to
Crazy.
it after.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that was dope, man. It was a good
That's amazing.
experience
man.
to be on stage with her, man.
And for those of you guys who don't know, just because we're on that Nasibo Lal topic, Roach is actually the reason why the Deep and Mankirat song happened with Nasibo Lal. We got to put that on there.
Oh, that's
Plug.
He's the plug. He's the main plug that made that happen.
Plug.
Deep's my younger brother, man. I'll do
Yeah,
anything
shout
for
out to
Deep, man.
Deep,
Shout out
man.
going out to Deep, man.
Yeah, Steve John Duke to shout out.
That track is bad though, bro.
Blitz,
Badass.
Blitz, you got quite a few features yourself as well. I mean, you got features with, you name it, Akshay Kumar. That's a big one. I mean,
I didn't do a feature with Akshay Kumar. So basically,
oh, you did a track with
Akshay
so,
Khanna.
so Akshay Khanna.
Oh, my
So
bad.
basically, what happened with Akshay Kumar? I'll let Roach tell the story. Is that that song that we just played you guys, Bang Bang.
We can't talk about that story, bro. These guys are gonna lose their shit.
We got to tell
Oh,
them,
no,
man.
I
This
wanna-
is Frequency and
I'm
Friends,
done.
bro.
Here we go.
This is and
You're the
friends,
one
bro.
who
This is
said no
Frequency
filters.
and Friends.
You've had 2 filters already.
And we've given them no
Just
time.
FYI.
I'm allowed 3.
They asked us how long the podcast is going to be, and we told
Okay,
them there's no
okay.
limit.
So-
let's go.
So this song that we just played you,
Hold on, wait. I'll give him a prelim to it. So
Yeah.
basically, me and Roach was working on his second album, and Gorda, the song Gorda,
the original.
yeah, the original. We didn't even really want to do it.
No.
It was
Blitz
Surrender.
didn't want to do
I
it.
didn't want to do
so
it.
watch this. So I had the song. It was my home studio in my bedroom, and I had 2 songs picked out. I was like, either one that's gonna get Blitz on it, whichever one he likes. So I played him Coda.
Do you remember the other song?
Yeah,
though?
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't wanna know
yeah.
that.
So I played him Coda, and he was like, I don't know. And then I played the other one. He's like, yo, I like this song. I should do this one. And I was like, nah, bro, I have a good feeling about this song. Let's do this one. And we did Coda, and I forced him to be on that song.
He did, and then Surinder heard it, and then at that time, no one had heard like gangster Punjabi. Like Bohemia was doing it, but what we were doing is we were mixing
Melody.
melody and English with it. Bohemia is like the king of rapping in
Punjabi
Punjabi.
rap.
That's his lane. So we came from coming from Toronto. It's like, yo, I rap in English, but we started mixing a bit of Punjabi melody into it. This song till this day is just, it blows me away how big Gorda, like how much of a response it gets worldwide. So we made a part 2. So the Vermontes, you guys know the Vermontes, right?
Yep.
So they made Breakaway. What's the other one?
Speedy Sings. They did
I was
they're
on
all
Breakaway,
wild.
all that stuff, right?
I was on Breakaway.
Oh yeah, so
Not
good
that
for you,
good.
man. Yeah,
Em's
so,
not feeling it.
clearly it's not that big of a movie, right?
So
Joking, joking.
I actually had a question because I remember seeing Goda to the trailer, the
Yeah.
teaser, and like I heard like there's this crazy big budget music video that went down.
which was shot also by Sonny
And
Campbell.
then
yeah, bro.
it's crazy that you mentioned the Vermontes, but from what I heard from a mutual friend, I guess, I don't know if you guys know Tanvir B.
yeah, I know.
So
Tanvir,
Cap told me
Do
he
we
goes- he
know
goes-
Tanvir?
Yeah,
Original
Tanvir.
Toli.
So I called him. And I called him.
Manager
He goes, yo,
What's
we got these
going
guys
on
coming
with
tonight. He goes, you guys got this song in a movie.
Yeah, so
And then-
that's what I'm gonna tell you. So basically, what happened was, the Vermontes were working with Bumma Sarai. He was scoring all of their music.
Yeah.
Okay, for their movies. Okay. Now, what happened was, you know the movie Biba Boys?
Yeah.
So Biba Boys,
I was in that too.
which explains the box office flop.
I agree with that. I never told anyone. No, I'm down.
I love Joe Dilla. Yo, listen. So basically,
Turn his mic down. He's killing my ears, bro.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah. Yours,
No,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, him too.
so basically, what happened was,
Turn it off.
Vinay Vermani approached me and said, "Yo, listen, man, I got this script, and I love your song, Take Your Picture with Juggy D." And I said, okay. So he brought me to the studio. He said, I need you to rework it to make it a bit more Hindi rather than Punjabi because it's a Hindi film. And they brought Selena Dillon down to sing some melody parts on top of Juggy's, right? So as they came in, I had just gotten the files from Sonny and Umar for Bang Bang. And I was watching it.
Umar, director.
Umar, the director, right? I was watching it on my studio monitors. They walked in, and AJ Vermani, which is Vinay Vermani's dad, goes, "What the hell is this?" And I'm like, "Oh man, this is just a new song that we worked on. This is some Punjabi gangster shit. You're here for Take Your Picture." He goes, "Yeah, that's fine. We're here for Take Your Picture for another film, but we're actually working on a film based around Bindi Johal's life, which is about gangsters in Vancouver, and this song would be bomb." They're like, "Who's this other guy?" I'm like, "Yo, this is my bro Roach. He's dope, you know?" The guy's like, "Can you guys make more of these?" I'm like, "Man, we do this in our sleep. You want a Bang Bang Gorda song? We sleep these out, right?" So I'm like, "Yo, okay." So I call him up. I'm like, "Roach, these guys, I worked out a deal, financial deal, everything." I said, "Roach, these guys want X amount of songs for a song based on, like for a movie based on Bindi Johal's life." Bang Bang was on there. We had put the trailer out. AJ Vermani called Cameron from Movie Box. We stopped the trailer because Akshay Kumar called.
No. Let me tell him the story.
go ahead.
So no, this is before that. So basically, they're like, "Yo, we want this song in a film for Biba Boys." Blah blah blah. Long story. And we agreed a price, and we said we're not going to release it because I was about to release it. Literally, we had the teaser out
plus
other songs. So, anyways, so that's all done and taken. And then it just went cold. Nothing happened. Like it was gone for a while. Then suddenly, are you ready for this? One fine morning, I wake up.
Winter day. I was standing at the bus stop.
One fine morning, I woke up, my phone buzzing, right? So I pick up my phone. I'm like, hello. He's like, can I speak to Roach? I'm like, speaking. Who is this? Because I didn't recognize the number. I'm like, who is this? He's like, it's Aki. I'm like, who the fuck is Aki? He's like, it's Akshay Kumar.
Oh, shit.
And I had to look at my phone again like, am I fucking awake? Is this guy somebody playing a prank? I'm like, who? And he's like, Akshay Kumar. And then I actually heard his tone, you know? It's like, suddenly I changed my tone. I'm like, hi, sir. How are you?
What did Man's Music say? He's like, yeah, I'm Shah Rukh Khan. When
Yeah.
All the same thing, right?
So he calls me up and I'm just like gas. I'm like, yo, and he's like, yo, look, I heard I got your number from Vinay Vermani. I heard your song Bang Bang, and I'm doing a film called Sing Is Bling.
Sing Is Bling.
And I want it for that. However, because it's in Punjabi, I want you to change it to Hindi. I said, okay, no problem, sir. If you want me to change it to Cantonese, I will. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care. It's actually Kumar called me on my personal phone. You know what I mean? So he's like, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in touch with what's her name?
The production coordinator.
Production coordinator. Damn, what's the camera for her name?
Whatever.
Ashwini. And I'm gonna put you in touch with her, and she'll give you the brief and all that and sort it. I was like, all right, cool. So we went back and forth, and I made a mistake.
Did it release?
No.
So now
the
we're
film
releasing
released,
it.
but not with
The
my
film-
song.
so-
Oh, okay.
But also, you got to remember.
No, but
So-
did your song release?
No, we're
it's
releasing it
on
now.
his-
Oh,
we
okay.
We
redid
changed it,
and
redone
it's
it.
coming on his-
Uh-huh.
So the crazy thing is that what people don't realize is when you're dealing with Bollywood films, right? Like he's done a few songs for Bollywood films. I've been featured in 1 and 2. What happens is that from when they first come to you, because an Indian movie is a musical, right?
Yeah.
When they come to you, they have an initial idea, they have a script. But that script can change over time. So Sing Is Bling was a follow-up to Sing Is King,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sing Is Bling initially was supposed to be a
Gangster
gangster
film.
movie.
Yeah.
They were like, we want to make the title song Bang Bang. We just played it for you. You're like, yo, this is some fucking gangster shit,
Yeah.
right? And basically over time, Sing Is Bling, if you watch it now, turned into
It
kind of
becomes
like
more of a
comedic.
comedy, love story. So they told me
Love
the
story.
script is not gonna fit.
So the script doesn't fit. So the song doesn't no longer fit. Now, what happened is the script for Biba Boys, it wasn't called Biba Boys at the time. It was just like
Inland,
the Bindi
right?
Johal story. It got bought over by Deepa Mehta.
It was called Inland
was wild.
before that.
It was
movie
called,
was wild.
I don't know what, you would
Inland.
probably know,
Yeah.
right?
You
So-
were in it.
You were in it, yeah. So
I got paid well.
yeah. So basically what's happened
For
now.
your 10-second Bhangra roll.
Yeah. So basically, what's happened now is that we've made 6 songs for the Vermanis on spec for a for a movie on Bindi Johal's life about Punjabi guys that are growing up in the lower mainland of Vancouver, which
Yeah.
are no joke. They're like serious. So we made songs catered for that. Now we're sitting on 6 songs, but what's happened is Deepa Mehta has bid on the script. She's won it. She's flipped it to Bipa Boys, and it's taken a different twist, right? So that's why, in answer to your question, that's why Bang Bang, the trailer had initially come out. We stopped it. Obviously, you know us. We're not going to stop a song if it's not for a good reason. Akshay Kumar calls this guy's phone. He calls me right after he gets off the phone. I'm standing in -20 weather at Young and Shepherd at a bus stop. He's like, bro, you're not going to believe who called me. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. It's -20. I'm trying to get on this bus right now. He's like, bro, Akshay Kumar called me. I got warm like this.
But like so,
I was like, yo, where? But, things happen in life. Things don't happen. But
Everything happens for a reason.
in the
bro,
film
you know?
industry, you're going to realize you could think that you have a song placed in a film, and that film can completely change, or the direction can
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
change, and it
Yeah,
cannot go
100%.
that
I've
way.
heard that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
it's not like it was
Millions
in
of
your guys'
times.
total control. You did your job. You guys
Yeah,
did what they
100%.
asked, and
Of
then
course,
the
of
rest
course,
is up
of
to them,
course.
kind of
Of
thing.
course.
100%, right? So,
I mean, speaking on stuff about like monetizing and making money in this industry, I heard you say in an interview actually with JD, he just left a little
Right,
while
right,
ago,
right.
that if an artist calls himself a urban desi artist, that basically you would consider that like a joke because it's not a real industry because you can't monetize it.
So, number one, that interview that you're referring to happened like maybe 6 years ago.
Was it?
5 years
Okay.
ago.
I saw it 2016.
You saw it in
on the video.
2016. I
Yeah.
recorded that and it was recorded 2 years before that even came out, right? So, in this industry, right, there's a very small handful of artists that can make a living off of this, right? And you can clearly connect the dots as a grown man of who's monetizing off this and who's not, right? And like, I can vouch for the fact that this is my brother. Like, I have no reason to lie to you guys. I've never seen this guy work a job in my life. I've seen him do music his whole life. He's monetized off of it. I've been monetizing off it. I have a job, but I've been able to monetize.
He's an
off
Uber
it.
driver.
Yeah, I
No, I'm
drive
just
Uber.
kidding.
If anybody needs a ride home, by the way,
Uber
I'm going
Eats,
back
by the
to
way.
Uber
I'm
Eats
hungry,
too,
bro.
yeah.
Get me some chicken.
So-
Uber is ISIS. We don't fuck with Uber. though.
Uber is ISIS. So, but when you see these guys, when I meet a grown man, right? Me and JJ always laugh about this, right? You meet a grown man in his like late 20s, early 30s, and I'm like, yo, bro, what do you do? He's like, yo, I'm an artist. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You living with your mom. Your mom don't live with you. You living with your mom, right? Because as a grown man, I break down the math like real quick. We're Indians. We're good at math, right? I'm like, your average mortgage, a $400,000 mortgage in this country is $2,100 a month at 4%, right? I'm getting really nerdy on you guys, right? But you can you buy a house for 400 grand in Mississauga? Fuck no, it's 800 grand, right? So 800 grand is what? $4,200, right? $4,200 plus, let's just say your $300 for fucking utilities. That's 45. Let's just say your cell phone bill is $100. Your car insurance is $100 or $200. You need $6 grand a month bring home 100%. To run your household. Yep. So as a grown man, when somebody comes up to me and says, yo, I'm an artist, I'm like, you're not fucking making $6 grand a month every month off music. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You're a shit talker. You live with your mom and dad.
Would you say that for all Punjabi artists at this current time?
It's not even Punjabi artists.
You're talking
I'm
about
saying
back
all
then.
artists. I'm saying all artists. It's
All
not
artists.
about. I'm not. But what I was.
You agree with that
100%.
statement? So like a guy.
Anyone who says they're an artist, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be an artist.
Be an
Okay.
artist.
Anyone who says
You don't think
they're an artist and they're living, guarantee no one.
Okay. Look, let me
Like,
say.
there's very
Let me
few.
let me
Very
tell you.
few.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you.
Hold on,
Exactly.
because I don't understand the statement. So you're saying Deep can't make $6 grand a
No.
month?
No.
There's you know the ones who are.
I'll tell you.
You know the ones who are doing it.
I'll tell you the ones that are doing it in Toronto from off the back. Deep is doing more than $6 grand a month.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Sidhu Moosewala is doing more than $6 grand a
100%.
month. I'm sure even Big. I'm sure even. I'm sure Big Bird is doing more than $6 grand a month.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where the list stops.
Yeah, that's where the list stops.
I'm sure.
Anybody
I think
else?
Fateh for
Sunny
sure,
Malton,
too.
no?
No.
Fateh. I think.
I mean,
Fateh,
Fateh is doing better.
I know
Fateh's
Humble's got to
doing-
be making more than that now,
Well-
but not off of a rap.
No, we're talking about music, bro. We're talking about music.
I think
We're talking about music.
Fateh, I'm sure he's doing well. I don't know his financial status. I can't really monitor it from over the other side. Because remember, he's a rapper, so it's always limited to us.
But
So-
everything he's doing, he's monetizing properly off of
Yeah, because he's
royalties.
independent.
Well,
yeah, he's
well,
doing all the
well,
PRS and
releasing
stuff.
There's
stuff on
two
his
different
own.
Yeah,
sides.
of course,
to
of course,
everything.
100%,
Here you got
100%.
your royalty-based people,
Yeah.
and then you got your buyouts.
Yeah,
and
of
the guys,
course.
and we're in the buyout phase.
Yeah.
which is you pay, we do that work, and
that's
you
it.
get it back.
So let me tell you. Let me
But that's not what Fateh did with both his albums.
No, 'cause
So-
he's monetizing them.
No,
Well,
well-
he's paying
Fateh's
you.
monetizing
Well,
off his royalties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's listen, right? Like, listen to this, okay? So, number one, I think one of the best things, and this guy gained so much of my respect by saying this. Humble, I don't know where he said this. He said he fell into $80,000 debt chasing his dream.
Yeah.
This guy gained so much of my respect when he said that because I was like, man, that's the life of a real artist.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, bro, you're so fucking real. I respect that.
No,
because
I knew him from the point
Yeah.
where this guy had a Mercedes C300
Yeah, I remember he came to see me.
chilling,
Yeah.
writing rhymes in a nice fucking
Yeah.
whip
Yeah.
where you can hear the beat properly. I was like, well, this is fucking
so
ill.
and then fast forward to Fateh, right? Young guy, and it's our duty to teach the younger guys, right? Fateh, one of Fateh's friends married my cousin, right? And so I saw him at the Gurdwara, and we just ended up sitting literally next to each other, and we know each other. Like, obviously, we're all in the same industry.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, what's up, young G? Like, what's popping? You know, we're talking. I was the one who told Fateh about PPL.
yeah.
PPL, there's two different types of royalties, right? There's a writer's royalty,
Yeah.
and there's a
There's a
performance,
performance
royalty,
royalty.
right?
Yeah.
Now, Fateh didn't know about the performance royalty.
Yeah.
Meaning he was missing out on half of his. This conversation, by the way, happened in, I think, May or June.
Break that down for the listeners. What's a PPL and what's the
Okay,
writing
so
royalty?
PRS is the
Or
British
SOCAN.
equivalent to SOCAN,
Mechanical.
right? The Society of Canadian Authors and Composers, right? So basically, when you write a song and you perform it, because not everybody writes their own songs, right? R&B artists do not write their own song. But if I write and I sing my own song, I'm double-ending royalties because I'm getting royalties for writing the lyrics, and then I'm getting the royalties as a performer for singing them.
By the way,
Right.
in music, the writer gets most of the royalties, not
Right?
the singer.
But you want to capitalize and you want to monetize off of everything, right? So these are things that we found out later in life. I had Tiger Style call me and go, man, PPL's looking for you. And I'm like, why? They like, yo, they got a fat check for you.
Oh,
and they're like,
damn.
you released 2 albums in the UK, did this huge run, songs with RDB, songs with Juggy D. I was like, yeah, I've been collecting my PRS. They're like, nah, bro, there's PPL. You haven't collected your PPL? I'm like, bro, I'm a Canadian citizen. I don't know what the fuck PPL
Fair
is.
play. Blitz told me about that as well.
Yeah,
I didn't
exactly.
even know about that. And I was living out there.
Yeah, and so what happened was I contacted them. I'm like, I heard you've been looking for me. They're like, bro, we owe you a lot of money. And I'm like, well, thank you for looking for me.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Because
pretty
most
dope.
people wouldn't do that,
Most
right?
companies wouldn't
If I
care,
owed a
yeah.
motherfucker a lot of money, I would not call him to remind them, right?
Nah, but they can't keep it.
So, yeah, they can't keep it, right? So basically, I got this huge check, backlogged all these years. I'm like, holy fuck.
That's a nice feeling, though.
First, it's a great feeling, right? So what do? I call my brother. I'm call him. I'm like, Roach, these motherfuckers paid me X amount, and you're 3 times bigger than me. So you're gonna get a check.
Go
This is
get
how
your
much I
PPL.
got.
Yeah.
I'm like, nigga, you go get your shit, right? This guy went and got his stuff. He's like, I'm rich. Jeffrey. I'm rich. Jeffrey,
So
I'm rich.
basically, going back to that, so when we're talking about artists making money, so Deep and Sidhu Moosewala, they're making money, obviously off the royalties as well, but they're making money on the forefront, which is off the shows, the live
buyout,
gigs and
off the
stuff.
buyout.
And Fateh is as well. Fateh's making shows because I see him
he's
touring.
making
He's
money.
doing
He's
as
doing
well.
shows and he's got the royalties.
He's doing
But
it double.
the
He's doing it
royalties-
double.
But what I wanted to clear was the royalties. He just fully just realized now after I had that conversation with him, which was as recent as June.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So before that,
So imagine he's making a lot of money because his money is in pounds.
his money. So just the same
That's
as
good,
us,
man.
right?
Yeah. So shout out going out to Fateh, man.
shout out to
Fateh,
all these
send
guys,
Blitz a
man.
bottle, man. Send
Yo,
what-
Fateh, send me something, bro. Make chicken or something, bro. Like, give me something. But
Chipotle.
But this goes back to going back to being the guys that quote unquote pioneer this. It's our duty. We didn't have nobody telling us this stuff, right? It's my duty. Fateh's not my friend. I don't have beef with him, but I'm saying he's so much younger than me. I don't know this guy. I don't know him from a hole in the wall. I just know him because he works with him, But when I see this guy, it's my duty to be like, yo, bro, like, have you
Well,
signed up to PPL?
Those are principles that you grew up on, and that's the time era that you came from where you feel responsible. Nowadays, I don't think that really carries forward. A lot of kids these days, if they see something, and I've seen it a lot in a lot of different types of business.
Everybody's selfish, bro.
Everybody's selfish, and it's like, oh, I don't want to
no
tell him
reason.
because I don't want
I
them to
don't
get on the
think
same
that-
lane that I'm on,
But
Call-
that doesn't affect you.
That
That's
doesn't
the
affect
crazy
you.
But
part.
people, yeah, that's the
Which
crazy
is-
part.
The
yeah,
crazy
yeah.
part is
Crazy.
it. Yeah.
But
Sorry.
sorry, JJ, but I think it's not a generation thing, Cole. I wanted to cut you off there. I don't think that's a generation thing. That's an individual personality thing. There's guys that
I
grew up
think
in
this-
our generation that are fucking dicks.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
But then there's
It's
guys
how you
that
brought
are
up,
just,
bro.
It's how you brought up, man.
How
your
your parents
usually-
raised you as
Yeah,
well.
how your parents raised you. If me telling him about PPL, it ain't taking my roti out of my
No,
mouth.
yeah.
It's just helping my brother get money. What do I care?
Mm-hmm.
It's different if I'm like, oh, like I could see people kind of being, even though I don't agree with it, I could see people being greedy because they're like, oh, this is gonna cut out of my share.
Yeah.
But if it ain't gonna cut out of your share,
How
do
does
you
that
care?
work on feature track where you feature with somebody?
so you're gonna break down those
Split.
percentages,
You
right?
split
They're
'em.
splits.
You
right?
agree with
Everybody-
like the
yeah,
artist
everyone
before
agrees.
you.
Everybody
Yeah.
gets a little bit, yeah.
What,
And there's
what's
like-
what's a standard
It's
feature?
like 10 to 15, or sometimes 25. It could go anywhere from 10 to 25%.
Okay,
You
depending
know,
on
It
the
depending
depends
weight.
on relationships.
Relationships.
Like you can. I'm sure if they're doing it, it's probably different. If he's doing it with,
Like when I do a
X
track
guy,
with
it's
Blitz,
different.
you ain't getting shit.
No, but it's true. It's
He's
true.
getting a bottle of Molson Dry.
But I mean, yo,
Get him drunk, you'll forget about the royalties.
it always comes down to relationships, right? Like, I'll tell you, and like I said, there was no filter on this conversation. Boxing Day this year, well, last year, just like 4 months ago, right? I came to the studio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Sat down with you. Me and JJ have known each other for 15 years. I sat down, I said, bro, I got this new product, the song I played you with me, Pachi, Roach, and Deep. I said, man, I got all these songs, man. I need them mastered. What's your rate? He looked at me and he laughed. He's like, Blitz, I'm not going to charge you the rate that I charge people. He's like, you know what? I'm like, okay, well, what's your discount homie rate? He's like, bro, just give it to me and I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
The only thing I ask of you is if you want me to do it for you, you have to adhere to my timelines, right? Which is fair, right?
Yeah.
So it comes down to relationships. It comes down to, hey, man, I known you. If he ever calls me, I'm not going to be like, well, yo, the fucking rate is, you know,
Yeah.
$2,000 or whatever the hell it is. It's just like, yeah, bro, cool. I'm free Tuesday. I'll come by. I'll do it for you. But the standard rate usually is anywhere from 10 to 25% on royalties.
That's
for
dope.
featuring.
That's dope, man. I mean,
So again, going back
If
to
you
what we were
royalties.
saying, shout out to all the artists from
Yeah,
Toronto that are doing it.
100%.
Shout out to
Shout out to
Fateh,
everybody,
Deep.
man.
Shout out to Sid the Musiala, even Sonny Malton. Like anybody and everybody.
Anybody
Like
doing
what you know what makes me proud? Makes me proud that all the hard work that I put in and Blitz put in going to the UK to put Toronto actually a spotlight on Toronto. It actually allowed Toronto to shine, and people have come through.
absolutely.
And that's
yeah.
and yo, all
You know
we
what I'm saying?
ask-
That was the reason we started
they
this
didn't
whole
dead
show.
the
Yeah.
scene right there. There's
Yeah.
more artists that came.
There's so
and,
many,
And,
yeah.
and you know what? The most important thing is they put the legwork in.
Yeah.
with the legwork, in. And you could see
They
who
all-
put the
Yeah,
legwork
we
in.
just sat down
You
with
can
Fateh
see.
and he said the same thing. He said, I sat on Kaiser Drive with
Yeah, I
Bird
saw
talking
that.
about one day we're going to make it. And
Forget
I'm going to
Kaiser
rap.
even drive like that. Like for guys who don't know Fateh's been doing it for fucking ages.
10 plus
Yeah,
years.
how
Bay,
long?
from the Bay
Last
times. When he used
Like-
to live in the
last season.
States.
Yeah.
Ages.
Nobody could take
Same
it.
with Deep. Deep
Same-
I've known
oh,
since he was
DJ
12
Nuts.
years
No,
old.
DJ Nuts,
As DJ
man.
Nuts.
I've known Deep since he was
Nuts.
12.
Yeah.
Before puberty.
Yeah.
I've seen him fucking
too much
lose
information,
his
bro.
Too
voice.
much information.
It doesn't matter. I've
I
seen
don't want
that
to hear
guy.
about your sleepovers. bro.
Hey. I've seen that guy lose his voice and gain it back and still start singing and still killing it. Move to England, work at some random fucking places
yeah.
and still grind and still make it.
Trust me,
I
man.
think, yo, you guys know that. You guys have probably heard that saying, right? It takes 10 years to make an overnight success, right? And it's true, right? Anybody right now that shined or who's shined before them, whether it's me, Roach, whether it's Fateh, Humble, Sonny Malton, Big Bird, and whoever's coming next, bro, you can literally trace them back to say, I know this guy's been doing this for 10,
100%.
15,
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah. Shout
Everybody's
out
been
Noise
doing
Be
it.
Magic.
But there's also
all those
guys-
guys, all those guys.
But there's
yeah.
also overnight successes. There and those happen and those are gonna keep happening.
But there's never longevity in that, right?
But even in that
There's never
overnight
longevity.
success,
Sometimes.
there's still a story before it.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
always a
true.
story
There's
beforehand, right? Like when Jyoti Dillon just magically popped up in
Yeah.
FIFA Boys.
Yeah.
It wasn't an overnight success. He worked long
Okay,
and hard
come
for that
on,
5-second Bangla scene.
I
My
wanted
story's
to,
coming soon.
I wanted to talk to you guys about Desi Fest. You guys have, I think, been in every single Desi Fest in Toronto since it started. Is that true? Or almost?
Majority of them, not all of
Majority?
them. A lot of them.
How
a lot of
important
them.
is that show to Toronto, and what does it mean to you guys?
I think
Ladies first.
No.
Well, thank you, sir. I think it was we came from just being regular dudes from Toronto, and then the UK had, especially when we were coming up, like when we first went to UK, like in the early 2000s, the mailers were 10, 20, 30,000 people.
Wow.
Like you're taking a guy from Mississauga, Streetsville, and putting him up on a stage in front of 20,000 people, and they know your songs. You're like, what the hell is
That's
this?
crazy,
And you
yeah.
come back to Toronto, and you're like, nah, man, I ain't interested in performing at your nightclub. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care, right? But Desi Fest made it a level playing field. It was the first festival, at least in Toronto, where it was like, okay,
I
there's
think
5,
it's
10,000
still the only
people.
festival.
I mean, no,
It
there
still
was a
is, yeah.
few. There was Misala Mendi Masti.
Yeah, that was for a few
quite
years. Yeah,
you know?
I actually played
Bro,
that
before
as
even
well.
all of that, before you guys even remember, back in the days when we were doing music, there was Millas. Do you guys remember?
actual
Markham
Millas.
Fairgrounds.
Oh no.
Yeah, I remember that
Do you
one. The
remember those?
Pakistani
Markham
one,
Fair-
right?
Not even in
No?
general. There was it was Pakistani as well, but there was so many Millas. There was all that. The whole scene was banging, and then it suddenly just died. It just died.
I remember Masala Mendy and Desi. I used to play
Yeah,
Tola Toast
Masala
back in the
Mandy.
day.
You had was it?
You were
Way
like
back.
12.
Yeah, I was like 12 when I was on
But you gotta
stage.
understand as well, those were all independently funded or like trucker funded or something funded.
They
Now
weren't
people
like
are doing
now,
it
so
like
yeah.
Desi Fest,
Yeah.
taking
It's
fucking
sponsored
TD
funding, yeah,
bank
TD
back.
No,
Yeah,
TD
yeah.
pulled out of that
Oh,
2
what,
years
I'm
ago.
just saying in
But I mean, they
general,
have
people
corporate
had
sponsors.
corporate
You know,
sponsorships.
the first Desi Fest happened in
Yo,
2006.
this is a great story. No, but do you remember the first year before you even performed there? Because you performed there before me. You performed second year.
No, from the first year.
No, do you remember
With Earl.
Do you remember we were at the BBC Asian Music Awards, and Raul came up to us? Do you remember this conversation?
Maybe.
So my album in 2007 is nominated for Best Urban Music Album, and I'm nominated. Like I was nominated in 2-3 awards, right?
Yeah.
So we had a performance. So obviously me and Roach go, right? And we got a performance. So we perform at the BBC Asian Music Awards. We get off. Raul Janeja, who used to be on the board for BBC Asian.
Oh, I know Raul. Yeah,
I mean, he used to be for Desi Fest, right?
yeah, he's hooking us up with Dash Radio.
Yeah, that Dash Radio guy, right? He comes up to us behind stage and he's like, "Man, you guys are from," because we're on stage going Toronto, like I
Yeah.
don't know, whatever it is, right? Fake gun signs, and shit, like acting cool, right? Right? And basically he comes up, he's like, man, I heard these guys yelling Toronto, like, who the hell are you guys? And I'm like, well, who the hell are you? We're Blitz and Roach, and we're fucking nominated. We're the shit, bitch. Right? Who the fuck are you, right? I'm Rick James, right? And he's just like, man, I'm on Daisy Fest. And I remember, and I feel bad about it. And I was like, man, fuck you, bro. I'm like, how you got a festival in Toronto and you ain't put us on, and we're out here nominated for best urban music? This is the problem. This is the problem with Toronto, right?
Yeah.
And I remember the second year, first or second year, Roach, they had Roach and Scully perform at like 3 in the afternoon.
3 in the afternoon.
There was
I
aunties
started.
there.
So
I was
watch
there.
this. So I started off at 3 in the afternoon,
Right.
and last year I headlined it.
Right.
Wow.
Nice.
So it just shows the journey of like how hard we worked and how far. And it was, you know what the funny part is? When I first did the 3 o'clock one, and all these people that were there, they come up to me, and this is the only reason why they were giving me the props were like, yo, I heard you signed to Richie Rich, bro. Yo, I heard you signed to Richie Rich, bro. So I'm like, hang on a second. I'm from your city. I work my ass off, but the only clout that you're giving me is because I signed to Richie Rich? Something is wrong. Something is wrong. So you're only sucking dick because I went all the way across the pond to make a name for myself, and now you want to jump the bandwagon. Do you know what I mean?
It was very important to note, right?
I mean,
And by the way, when I say this, I'm not
you're-
talking about Sats B. This is like, I'm talking about like just people.
Yeah.
But
Like the
Sats
crowd,
B,
the
so
crowd.
I got to big up Sats B because
Big
if
up.
it wasn't for Sats B, this whole festival wouldn't happen. And the Toronto scene, like that, to that caliber wouldn't exist because there is no other festival that caters to urban Asian music.
But let me-
Mandi Masala Masti or whatever the
Mendy Masala Masti hasn't happened in years. It's not.
Bro, it's
doesn't count.
fucking crap.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I tell them straight, bro. It's fucking
Sorry,
shit.
go on, brother.
But why did you sign to Richie Rich?
Why?
Yeah.
Because they wanted to sign my song. Remember I told you.
Yeah,
signed-
no,
he
no, I
signed the
get
song,
that,
yeah.
but like my whole perception on the idea of that people recognize you for Richie Rich is kind of probably exactly the reason for signing with them was that recognition, no?
No. Mine wasn't nothing to do with recognition, but the fact that I have an outlet to put my music out. If somebody wants my track and they want to use their engine and services to put my music out,
Yeah.
then please go ahead.
But then he's doing his job, right, by getting you recognized.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is my job in the music business is I don't make music to get recognition. I get music to satisfy my hunger. That's why I'm releasing music, because it makes me happy that the masses are hearing my music. Whether it's Movie Box, whether it's Richie Rich, whether it's Universal. The point is I'm not doing music to get fame.
Yeah.
I'm doing music because it's a passion.
But then why were you mad at the fans for saying
No,
that?
it's not the fans. I'm not going to
wasn't
mention people's names.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
industry.
okay.
It's industry
okay,
people.
Okay. I took that.
I
I thought,
see.
I thought
I
you
took
said
that
that
I just
fans
want to
came
mention
up
anybody's
with
name.
it.
It's industry people. It wasn't
Okay,
Sats B or
okay,
anybody. It's just
okay.
industry people that
Yeah,
have been
yeah.
there and seen my struggle
That's
all my life. And these, funny thing, these people knew me from when I was doing fucking with Earl, Daisy Records. So these people had seen me doing it from 1994 all the way to 2004 when I signed to Richie Rich, 10 fucking years. And they didn't fucking holler at me. But suddenly when I signed to Richie Rich, suddenly they were giving me props.
Yeah.
So what happened to all those days that I was fucking busting my balls to do? When I was coming to your shows and say, yo, let me jump on the stage, bro. Let me come and do this, bro. Here's the tape. Yeah, I'll call you, bro. I could do this for you. And then fucking don't answer my
You
calls.
know what the thing is, bro? The thing is like
No one's going to do nothing for you in life unless you're doing something for yourself. That's
the thing,
bottom
the
line.
thing is, the thing is like the thing is about this industry and especially the Toronto scene, bro, is that it's
Face Capital?
it's only till now. It's only now, right, where our generation has come up. You have the frequencies, you have all this stuff where we don't need anybody anymore. With the power of the internet, like look at the ecosystem you guys have created, right? Now, if you're a Bhangra artist, right, where's the prime place you want your songs played? At weddings, right?
SoundCloud.
So if the man who's running the wedding show is the producer and you do a song with him, that's the ecosystem. That's it. You don't need nothing else,
every
right?
frequency wedding,
You don't. We don't need nobody no more. But back then, I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago, we literally needed to jump on a plane, go to England, because England was the mecca of Asian
There were
music.
generations ahead.
Yeah.
Now you don't got to leave your bedroom.
You don't got to leave your bedroom, right? So,
Incorrect.
well, you still need to.
Well,
leave
no,
your
you got
bedroom.
a tour. Yeah,
No,
you got to.
Nah, bro, listen. Let me tell you something. If you want to be a Bollywood actor, you have to go to Mumbai.
You need to go to Bollywood, yeah.
if you want to be into the urban, Desi Asian music scene, you have to go to England at some point.
At some point. But back
Yo,
then-
hold on. Or
Even-
your music
even in
has to
today's
break.
age still?
Yes. Sidhu Moosewala broke fucking through England, bro. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Is that true? You
That's
guys agree?
100% fucking true.
Nah, I don't think
Let me
so.
tell you.
I don't agree with that.
No,
either.
let me tell you something, bro.
I don't believe
Let me
that.
tell you something. 100%. his music came out here, which is great. You guys play it over here in clubs and all that. How is it going worldwide, bro? It's not going through fucking
It's
YouTube
not going
to
through
worldwide
England anymore.
It's going through England because that's the hub. The mainstream, the stations over there play it, and when the stations over there play it, everybody watches those stations. What's hot out there? And then I'm not saying he only blew up because of England, but
It
England had a
helped.
big part
It
in
helped,
blowing
I'll
it
be
up.
honest.
Well,
I don't agree
I'll
with
be
that.
honest right now. What's it called? So High Uchinga Garla came out.
A
I think
year.
It's been out, no, yeah, it's been a year.
A year.
It had been like maybe
More than a year, bro.
it-
More than a year.
2
Whatever.
years,
It
bro.
He
was
broke,
out
Sure.
for a
he
year.
broke the
2 years.
internet
Sure.
with that, yeah.
That song came out. It'd been out for a month, and the song was huge, fucking massive here.
Underground, bro.
And
Massive.
we were playing. And we were
And-
playing it.
On the streets,
And
No, no,
India,
not on a commercial level.
and India, huge. So now,
Funny enough, they don't even play that song on the radio.
so
It's
now
too gangster for radio.
I'm in London at my cousin's wedding. Jags Climax is DJing, sick DJ. Jags Climax is DJing.
Didn't even know the song.
I walk up to him like, bro, can you play Uchinga Garla? He's like,
What song
I
is
don't know
that?
what song that is. I'm like, what?
I know for a
And
fact.
I'm looking around. Hold on. I'm looking around. And I'm like, what? Huh? How do you not know this song? I'm like, yo, can you please play it? Here's the song. I have fucking USB. Here, take it. Play the song. Just play it for me. Even if you don't fucking know the song, play it for me. Doesn't play it. I had to ask my cousin who's getting married and her fiance to get him to play the song. He saw the reaction on the floor, and the entire fucking place was going up and down. Like
So hold on, let's get it right.
nobody's.
So let's get it
JJ
right.
broke Musa.
JJ broke
But
Muswala in
nobody
UK.
knew
USB.
it. Nobody knew it. And that, like, when I saw that, I was like, to me, and my whole family's in the UK. I know exactly what's going on
100%,
before
100%.
anything what the fuck's going
Now,
on.
hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But
And I'm
me sitting
watching
over there,
that.
sitting over there. Now, when I'm saying you have to hit the UK to get your shit out there to the worldwide,
I feel like
that's
you
true.
did.
That's true. That's still true. That's still
I'm
true.
gonna be honest.
That's still true,
I
bro.
don't
did.
think so.
I
don't
feel like
think so,
UK
yeah.
had a UK was
No,
You did
UK
have to hit the
huge?
UK.
you
You
do
used
have
to.
you have to.
You
You still have
you
to
had
hit
to
the
hit
UK.
the
You
UK.
still have to hit
I
the
think
UK is a massive market for Punjabi
it's
music,
a
bro.
huge market.
I
Market's there.
Okay, let's put
Hold
Deep.
on.
How about Deep Yonder?
Homegrown-
I don't think Deep went through UK, did he?
Deep
No.
started in the UK and nothing
Deep started
happened.
in the UK.
And nothing
Yeah.
Bro,
happened.
no,
And
no, no.
nothing
The
happened.
difference is,
he
bro,
broke when he came
Let me
back.
tell you, the difference is, this is the difference. The difference is, if you want to break the UK market, you have to be in the UK market. You have to spend some time in the UK market.
But
You have
that's
to put
not
that work
but that's
in it.
not fair because guys like G Sidhu who are not in the UK market sitting in Detroit,
They're
Sitting
smashing
in
it.
Detroit, but
New
they're
York,
coming,
smashing
bro.
it.
They're in the UK all the time, bro. I was with them
now
last
they
week.
are. But they're
BBC
being
for
called
the
to
show,
the
right?
UK
Yeah, yeah.
Right, they're being called to the UK.
to do shows
Shout
because
out
of
to
stuff
him,
they
amazing.
100%, bro. I
And-
love him.
and-
I love.
and-
I think
hold on.
he's a dope artist.
So I feel like what Roach is saying, you had to hit the UK market. You had to. I feel like 110%. Me being the biggest UK Bhangra fan there is, you had to hit the UK market 10 years ago, maybe. For
100%.
sure, you had to. Like if there was
Maybe
Yeah.
because
when I
now
started,
because of
when
so
I
much
started
internet.
like being like, yo, I want to DJ and I want to do this. I remember I was like, yo, I want to be doing this in the UK.
Right.
Like I don't care for Canada or North America.
100%. That
I
was
want to
everybody.
be doing this in the UK. But now, you know, after a lot of shit's gone down in the North America side of things, right? I feel like UK's there, but it's not your main
Fair play.
target anymore.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
put my
not.
hands up because
Yeah.
remember I'm over there, right?
Yeah.
So I haven't
So,
seen
yeah,
that. I
the
haven't
other
seen
section
that
is
actual
different. That section
grassroots
is
of
on
what's
inside.
happening,
It's,
right?
it's like I said at the beginning. We got to find out why you're still there, bro. You got to come back home.
I'm gonna be honest. Even when we go
Let me
to
rip out my passport.
even when we go to India, every time we go to India, the main question is
Toronto.
when am I? I'm gonna come to Toronto. Oh, not sorry, not question. Comment is I'm gonna be coming to Toronto on this date. Are you gonna be there? I'm gonna be coming to Toronto on this date. Are you gonna be there?
Toronto's a hot spot now,
I'm
bro.
coming to Toronto on this date. Are you gonna be there? That's it. And I haven't heard England in ages,
What the
which
thing-
is
No,
sad.
you're absolutely right. Let me clarify
Because
this.
that's where Bhangra music came
hold on,
from
hold on,
England.
hold on. England, as of right now, the scene is dead. Yes, you're absolutely right. However, what I'm saying is the music that's coming from, whether it's from America, whether it's from Canada, whether it's from India, the hub is coming into the UK. And that's where they're glorifying the music, because everybody, regardless whether you listen to Canada or America, you're telling me none of you guys would listen for the UK music?
No, not anymore.
None of you
honest,
guys listen to the UK
don't
music?
Not anymore.
So you
And
guys
someone could come
don't
out-
listen for nothing coming out the UK?
I'll be honest.
Because there's nothing coming out the
True
UK.
Actually,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what?
there is
some
Because there's
things
nothing coming out the UK.
There are some things.
Izu's not from
Is-
UK, he's from the America.
Okay, so
No, he's not. Izu's from.
He's from England.
He's
England.
He's not from England.
He is. I swear.
I
to
swear
he's
I
from
didn't think he
England.
was from
God.
England.
No,
he
is.
might be.
100% he's
Is
from
he?
England because I was supposed to go
I
meet him
actually
while I
thought he
was
was
out
from
there.
America.
Isu's
Nah.
Isu's
He
the
just shot
hottest
a
thing
video in
coming out
LA.
right now.
but
Okay, maybe
he's-
that's what it was.
He's
Who
from
is- who is Izu?
Izu is
He's
a
dope, man.
new,
He's dope. New
kid who's
He's dope, man.
fucking
Dope.
wild.
Sick.
Dope. He's dope.
Wow.
Man.
He
He's really
sings
dope.
Punjabi music.
Yeah.
No, Punjabi and R&B.
And
He's
R&B.
dope.
I think.
okay.
Look. At the end of the day, just to cut a long story short, it's a situation where 10 years ago you needed to go there, and that was the end all be all. Now, other markets, especially Toronto, dude, has
Toronto's
stepped
the
up
hot
so
spot right
much that you don't need to go there. But
The
one thing
the
is,
At the end of the day-
it's still. It's still going to be one
It's
of those
still a
markets.
pipeline, but
it's
we
still
have-
a
yeah,
pipeline.
yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
pipeline.
Yeah,
That's the
that's all
exact
it
word
is,
for it.
yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
pipeline.
Boys, with technology, you can be sitting anywhere in the world and
Yeah,
you can make a
100%.
hit
Yeah.
song. Look at these guys. Daru Badnaam
There is number one.
was the biggest fucking song.
Yeah.
It's still the biggest, one of the biggest. Like
Yeah.
anytime you play Daru Badnaam,
Yeah.
the whole fucking crowd is singing Daru Badnaam.
Oh, yeah.
And that's two dudes from fucking New York City that nobody's ever heard about.
Yeah.
VIP Records put that shit through,
Yeah.
and a year later they're like 2 billion views in
Yeah.
India.
So
Touring the
rewind-
fucking country.
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on.
Okay,
Rewind
hold on. VIP
back-
Records put
yeah.
but the song blew up in India.
Yeah,
That's
but
facts.
where did it start from? Because, bro, what I'm trying to say, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying, regardless whether India's blowing up, Canada's blowing up, people still listening to the UK.
The outlets there. The outlets.
The outlet,
pipeline.
the outlet's
It's a
always
pipeline.
there.
The outlet will always.
And I'm
Yeah,
not, I'm
yeah.
not
Yeah.
saying
No,
that
no,
because I'm
that's
living out there.
100%,
Look,
yeah.
bro, I'm Toronto to the fucking death, and I'm so happy that Toronto's blowing the fuck up. And right now, in the world, there's Toronto and then there's India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else that's blowing up
And-
like
and
that.
those that are
Obviously,
listening now
G
watching
Sidhu's
the
from
video,
America.
he's
He's
gotta
probably
wrap his
him
hat
and
up.
Mickey are doing the rounds from America. But as a fucking masses, Toronto and India.
That's it.
Toronto and India right now. And you go to the UK and you ask anybody, they'll turn around and say, "Yo, the UK scene's dead."
Well, speaking of India, I mean that scene was always there, and it's kind of revived itself on this whole other tip. Kind of something I wanted to get into with
Yeah.
you, a Gully Boy.
Yeah.
So you got a track that's on that movie. That was a
Right.
big movie that
Right.
went international. How did that come about, and how'd you guys work that out?
So first of all, shout out to me for being the only Canadian.
Yo, make some
hip-hop
noise for
MC
that, man.
on
Make some noise.
The biggest Bollywood hip hop.
Only male MC. Shout out to Decima.
I didn't
Shout out
even
to
know,
Decima.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Shout out to Decima.
So-
She sounded dope, man.
Yeah, she sounded good
Blitz,
too.
you're okay.
Yeah, I was alright. Yeah, I was alright. So it's crazy because now you see the South Asian scene shifting, right? Now for the first time we don't got guys and girls dancing around trees, singing these corny
Thank the
songs. It's like
gods.
this was about the hip hop movement, right? So what happened was
Every time you say that, I think you're going to say, what had happened?
what happened was
What happened was,
you know what it is, yeah. You know what, Giza, you know what it is, yeah. So what happened was, I was about to go check him. I was in Italy last summer, and I was doing this big Euro trip where I was going to Italy, and I was gonna go check him, and I got this email, and it was from somebody I didn't know, and they basically said, "Is this Blitz?" And me just being, I'm a very private person with my personal life, so I was just like, "Yo, who the fuck is this? You're emailing me." Asking me, is this Blitz? You should know who you're emailing, right? And the guy said, yo, listen, man, I'm a big fan of your music. I've been following you since you were with Tiger Style. I like the sound of your voice. I like the way you carry yourself on the mic. We got this film project. We want you to be involved. Send me your number. I'll call you. I'm like, bro, I don't know who the fuck this is. I ain't sending you my number, right? You send the check. Send me the reference. I'll record you 16 bars. I'll send it back to you. Fuck off, right? I've heard about, my song's going to be in a movie. We had Akshay call us. We had the Vermonis make us, we cut 8 tracks for them for Bieber Boys that never got made. I've been here. I've been done that. And just going back in time, there was a movie called Love Ajkal with the song Twist.
Yeah.
Those are my background vocals in that song. And I wasn't credited for it.
Wow.
So Tiger
That's a
Style,
huge song.
You,
That was a
you
huge
weren't credited for
song.
them?
I wasn't credited for. I got paid.
Okay.
I got
Candy
paid.
Twist.
Yeah, right. So basically, what
I'm going to
happened?
hear that
Eminem
fucking
knows
song
everything.
now. I'm going to listen.
Every song, bro.
So if you listen carefully,
I'm gonna
you'll,
lose
in
the battle
the
at the
drops,
end.
you'll hear my little puppy like, bad boy, come on. I'm doing all this dancing all in the
Ad-libs.
video.
Suge Knight. That producer trying to be all up in the videos.
Yeah. So basically, what happened? So just a prelim to Gully Boy. What basically happened was, Preetham. So in Bollywood, there's these huge music directors, they call them, right? So Preetham's one, whoever, right?
I love your extent. I love your knowledge.
That's it, bro. I don't listen to these music, bro. Like you want to talk about MF Doom and Mos Def, I'll talk all day, right? So, anyways, these guys, they subcontract producers. So whether it's Dr. Zeus, whether it's Tiger Style, they get a bunch of different producers to say, hey, we're working on this song, Twist. Make a version of it. Send me parts. They get all the stems, and then they literally sit there and go, I like this, I like that, I like your bass line, I like your snare, I like this guy's backup vocal here, and they create like a Frankenstein version of a Bollywood track, right?
Okay.
Not all the time, but at times, right? So Tiger Style sent me the track, and they were like, yo, you want to rap on this? And I just hear, yo, you know me, JJ. I listen to like Mobb Deep. They sent me like Twist. I'm like,
Tiger Style sent you Twist or
Yeah, Tiger Style
the
sent me
Gully
this-
Boy track?
No, the
Okay.
Twist, right? So I'm going back in time. I was like, all right, whatever. This is corny as hell, right? I'm like, my friends are going to laugh at me. I just recorded it.
I want to see you in the studio doing that.
Yeah. You should have seen my face, right? I was like, what the hell is this? I recorded this. I sent this to them. They cut me a check. They sent it to me. Cool. I signed a contract for Tiger Style. So basically what happens is Tiger Style sends a contract to Preetham basically saying, hey, we own all these. We are liable for it. You are not, in case you end up getting sued, we're liable for it. So now I'm sitting there and I start getting all these messages like, congrats, bro, congrats. I'm like, congrats on what? And the guys are like, man, I heard you in the new Bollywood song. So somebody sent me the teaser to Love Ajkal's Twist.
Okay.
And in the teaser, the beat drops and all of a sudden you hear me go something like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know. I said some like random shit, right?
That's where it's like, movie buddy guy.
Yeah, no, not that. That wasn't me, but like some random stuff like that, right? And I'm like, what the fuck, bro? My song's my name's not on this, whatever. So now I end up in a puzzled situation because I'm like, yo, Tiger Style are my boys. If I raise the lawsuit or something, I'm fucking over my boys, right? And I'm like, fuck it, man. Like, yo, these are my dudes. I'm not gonna cause a stink out of it, get them in trouble. Like, what's really the point for like a couple backup ad libs, right? So, anyways, fast forward. These guys are like, listen, man. For Gully Boy this past summer, they're like, listen, send us your number. I'm like, I'm not sending you my number. Send me the check or whatever. I've done this. I'm sick of it. They're like, no, man. Okay, here's our number, and here's our names. So I Googled their names. I found out it was Partners in Rhyme.
Sick.
Partners,
Sick
They're
producers.
sick producers.
Partners in Rhyme, which I have a limited knowledge of Desi music. They did the
Bend It Like Beckham,
Bend
the
It Like
whole
Beckham, Tere Bene Nahi Lag, the
They
Nasir
did.
song.
They did a lot of songs.
They did.
Yeah,
Bid Rakhiya's
Theme,
Bor Bor
They
Chanjana.
did Theme for Jazzy B.
fans.
Yeah. And I'm sure they did
Theme
all
was a
that.
huge
yes.
track.
Theme by Jazzy
I'm
B.
sure they did
So-
all that, just like how JJ did Credit
Even-
Card.
even-
I
so-
don't even know what Credit Card is.
Yo,
right?
so even the track you did, the
Just like
Godier
our
track,
Jyoti was
like
in
that was, I remember like a couple of years
It's
ago.
an old
So,
song. It's an
so,
old song,
so the
right?
theme music that is for this podcast, that dun, dun, little beat. I remember a couple of years ago, me and JJ were sitting in his studio in his basement. I'm like, yo, JJ, this is Kaka track, and I fucking love it. And, I have a vocal that's like sort of like this song. Let's make something. So me and JJ made this song as a SoundCloud release.
Yeah.
But the Sony track we did,
Yeah.
but that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a copy of
Oh, okay.
that Godier
So
track.
Basically,
Oh, shit,
so
crazy.
basically what happens is I call them and I'm like, man, my bad. I didn't realize who you were, right? Like, I like your one song that I know. But
Yeah.
like,
I'm sorry for saying fuck you. I'm not giving you my number.
Yeah, I apologize for being a dick, right? So I'm just like, okay, cool, send me the song. They sent it to me. Arjun was on it.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, here's a point of reference I know. I know Arjun,
Yeah.
right? And they sent me Kaka, and I really didn't want to do it. They sent it to me, and I was just like, man, this ain't my vibe, you know? Like, I'm so far removed from this now. Like, I don't really want to do it. They're like, just do it. And I asked a couple people, and everybody was like, man, just do it, man. It's dope. So I wrote this, like, flow that just rides the beat. That was just my whole job, is don't fuck up the flow.
Yeah.
Just ride the beat, because it's that type of song. I did it. I sent it back to them. This is in late August. October, they sent me back a reference. It was me, Arjun, and Kaka. And I'm like, all right, cool. They're like, listen, man, you got to keep this. I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. They're like, you can't tell anybody about this. So much to the point where I couldn't even tell him about it, right? So I'm just like, listen, I'm not
That's
gonna
how we're not friends anymore.
We're not friends anymore, right? By the way, you can walk home.
I'd rather after you're a couple of drinking.
But so what happens is, once again, you know, everything was sorted. I was properly credited. I was properly compensated for it. And the song comes out. And when the song came out, it was actually the first time I heard the finished song with Desi Ma on it, the female rapper.
Okay.
So I was like, yo, she's
She's
dope.
dope, man.
Yeah, I was like, yo, she's dope, man. This is cool. So just off of that, just the fact that, you know, being the only Toronto guy on it. From North America, I think it's just me and Desi Ma. I could be wrong.
Rapper, but I think there was some producers. XD Pro
XD
were
Pro
on
did
it,
the
right?
Nas
Oh,
track.
actually, bro, but
NY to
so-
Mumbai.
They got on with
so,
Nas,
but-
Nas track.
but-
Yeah.
Big up,
so
big up.
that, yeah, big up to Sean and
Uh-huh.
DMS. That wasn't even on the soundtrack.
No.
So
That
the
wasn't.
soundtrack-
No,
That
okay,
was-
so
that
I
was like
watched
a
the
promo
movie.
track.
That was like a promo track.
That was a promo
I
to
don't know
the
how it
film.
came
I
about,
watched
but-
I don't know how many of you guys watched the movie.
I haven't watched
Yeah, I
it, no.
watched. Of
I
course
watched the movie
yeah.
in theaters.
Oh, shit.
That song
I
at
watched
the-
it
comes at
because
the end.
when I was in India, that was the biggest
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Everybody,
yeah.
Gully Boy was like,
Yeah.
fuck, let's go watch it, right?
Yeah.
How was the movie?
It was sick. So, Sean and Meninder's track, the NY to Mumbai, it wasn't in the movie,
It
but
wasn't in the
when
end.
the
It was in the
recru-
credits.
when
It's in
the
the
credits
credits.
rolled,
Yeah.
It's a promo track, basically.
So it's one of those things. I don't, and you know,
Dope.
obviously, when you guys talk to them, they'd be able to fully educate you on where it came about. But when the soundtrack came out, it was not on the
yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah.
Okay.
It was. I think
It
it was
was-
like a bonus track.
Yeah, it wasn't until
okay,
like
okay.
a month after the soundtrack came out, like January 4th or 6th or I don't know, and the movie didn't come out till Valentine's Day.
Yes, it was like
So-
a day after the movie came
A
out.
day after or a day before the movie came
Yeah.
out is when they announced it, and that's when it came out. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to them.
Yeah.
But it's so big the fact that yo guys,
That's
a
crazy,
Toronto
man. Yeah.
rapper from Mississauga, from Meadowville, Mississauga, Streetsville, is on Gully Boy. People are sending me. I don't know if you whoever
Well,
follows me. on
I
Instagram.
mean, I think it's rightly deserved because wouldn't
Yeah,
you say
100%.
that hip hop comes from North America,
No,
and
100%.
now the world is picking
No,
up.
but
My,
it's
my
just-
only thing on that Gully Boy thing, all shout out to everybody, but they should have had Bohemia, bro.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
didn't
Like,
even
how could
have
you
him in
have
the movie.
How
Yeah.
could you not have Bohemia? He's the pioneer
Yeah.
of Punjabi
Yeah,
rap
100%.
music
They had-
on hip hop.
So Gully Boy, they had like so. I agree 110% that they needed Bohemia on there,
But
because
there must have been some.
yeah, because they
Who
had
knows
like
maybe it was
yo,
behind
but,
I don't know
shout,
whatever
yo, but
the-
shout outs to the fact that they had Raja Kamari.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
dope,
she's
dope
huge.
to everybody.
She's
Shout outs to
dope.
Raja
Yeah.
Oh, it's all
Kamari.
good, bro. All
Shout outs to the
everybody's
fact
good.
that Divine
But-
Everybody was in there. That's
Easy,
dope. But I'm just saying,
all these.
it's like saying, yo, I'm gonna have gangster rap and then not have Ice
No,
Cube on the
110%.
track.
Bohemia was needed in that, but yo, sometimes
You know what I
who
mean?
knows,
But
right?
yo, man, look, at the end of the day, bro, what's just dope is like as a city, as Toronto, as a bunch of guys that are sitting around from Toronto, like, bro,
Toronto's
all
the
of
hottest
us-
shit right
bro,
now.
JJ, you and me have known each other a long time. I've known you, Jyoti, for a while. You know, like we've known each other, you know, more briefly. But, bro, guys, XD Pro produced a song with Nas. These guys, I've known Sean for 10
Unreal,
years.
man. Make some
That's
noise for
big.
that, man.
That's amazing.
Absolutely.
He
Huge.
got-
Huge.
He got me, a guy from Streetsville,
Yeah.
in the movie, credited. Like, I was just like, man, Toronto's out here, man.
Yeah.
And this is what
100%.
we do it for, bro. And, you know, he's done songs in Bollywood movies like Tiger Shroff singing. Like, my song was featured in the film. This guy had the Bollywood actor singing your vocals.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, man, like, he sends me stuff sometimes.
I
He
went.
just shook his head.
I
He's
went.
like, yeah.
I went and I sat in Amitabh Bachchan's house with Abhishek Bachchan.
What?
This is true.
In his
This is
house.
true.
Holy.
So I mean, like, imagine that feeling. Like, you know, I'm growing up watching Amitabh Bachchan all my life, and then I'm sitting in his house, in his
crazy.
living room.
He tweeted,
crazy.
he gave you a
Yeah,
shout
he
out
even
on
gave
Twitter.
me a shout out when I did the track with Jazzy Dynamite, me and Zeus, and he tweeted that. Abhishek actually tweeted the
So
track.
That's
these
crazy.
are these are things that Toronto's doing, guys. That, you know, whether the younger generation like knows us or doesn't know us or whatever, it's important. This is why we wanted to do this podcast with you guys. It's important to know who paved that way and the moves that we're still making to open those doors for everybody. And all we ask, and it's everybody else's duty, is to pay it forward and to continue opening those doors for other people, you know?
And for
It-
each other.
and for each other, 100%, bro. It's if Fateh and Big Bird and Malton and whoever's coming out weren't progressively getting bigger and bigger each generation, there'd be something wrong.
There's something
So the
absolutely
next
wrong,
guys that come up gotta be bigger than them,
Yeah.
and the guys after them gotta be bigger than them.
There already is, man. Have you guys heard of that kid A.R. Paisley?
Yeah, it's crazy.
They took him on tour, right?
Yeah.
Bird
They
and
took him on
Malton.
tour.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah.
fucking
He's from
killing
Saga
it.
as well. Same
Well,
area.
that's what the
He's
next
down- he's
generation
from down
shit
the street,
is.
yeah.
There's a
that's
next
the
dude.
generation.
There's a
Roach,
next
the
dude.
next generation
I gotta
shit,
ask
man.
you, man. You're putting yourself in another seat now from the artist. You're in the producer seat recently.
yeah,
so
yeah.
what's going on with that? Have you always been into that, or you
yeah,
just
you know, the funny thing is you say that a lot of the collaborations that I've done, I've been behind the production side of it, but I've never taken the credit for it because there's other producers on the song. So I mean, I'm not a selfish guy. Like, I don't care. But there comes a point where just like, you know what, I need to showcase that I do that stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I wish I could tell you what I've done, I wish.
So do
That's
I.
not a filter. That's not a filter. I'll tell you off the record, but I can't say it because I'll probably get shot for it. So I don't want to say it. But I've done a song for. I produced a song and I've featured on the song for like a shatta. And and I can't wait for that to come out. Hopefully it comes out in mid-April, maybe end of April, maybe May. So yeah, so that would be one of my like biggest productions that I've
And
just
you're doing
done.
a whole album as well?
I've done my whole album. My album's coming out the end of April, hopefully, if not first week of May. And I've
Dope.
produced every song. There's 8 songs on the album. I produced the whole album
Blitz is
myself.
on it for sure.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he paid me to be on it. So
I was like, please.
Anybody else you could mention that's on the album?
Nasibulal's on the album. So
Great.
just,
Yes.
this one's just me and Nasibulal. So we don't have to do it.
If you guys hear
Is
that,
it-
if you guys hear that banging, that's Roach every time.
sorry, man.
banging
I'm
on the-
sorry, man. I'm getting hyped.
Is it
See,
like
you guys are drinking. That's your hype. I'm just banging the phone up.
So you
like,
got Nasibollah, you got
because
Blitz.
Nasibulal got Blitz on the album. I got like the whole thing is I wanted to have new artists. Like Aman Sandhu's not new, but still he's not as big as he should be because he's
Yeah.
such a great vocalist.
Super
So I've got
talented.
Aman Sandhu on the album. I've got this next kid from India called Shivan. He's dope, man. And funny thing enough, everyone that hears him, they say, "Bro, it sounds like Jastami," you know. It's
Oh,
like, no,
shit.
but it's not. But it's really good. It's a really good tone.
Yeah.
So nobody's like nobody
No
like you
old
know,
UK friends?
No UK friends. I got no friends in UK. I got no friends in UK.
Whereabouts in the UK are you? Roach, Birmingham?
You know everything, bro.
And you're a
You-
Man U fan, I heard?
Yes, I'm a Man U
Oh,
fan. Proud
man.
to be.
He knows everything.
Yeah. Well, it's good. You guys should know everything. You know,
Hey.
this podcast. Yes, I'm in Birmingham.
Actually, speaking on that, I forgot to mention this. It's a question for you, Blitz. I heard that you used to have a tabla player that became a big YouTube artist.
This little guy, this
Let's
little
not
guy-
tell him about the story, bro.
Let's hear it.
Tell him the
This little
story,
guy-
bro.
Nah,
Come on, bro.
man. I mean, this guy you might have heard of, Just Rain. He went by the name of
Yeah.
Just Meet Rana.
Tell him the story, bro.
Yeah, so basically what happened was like I think this is like I don't even know a year. This is like 08 maybe. This is 08, 09. This is before he's Just Rain, right?
He was
And-
just.
He was just he was
Just
just
Meet. You're just a guy.
He was just Meet, right?
He
That's
was
what I
just a
had
guy.
his number saved as my phone. So I got selected to play at SOBs in New York, which
Oh,
is
yeah,
a
man.
legendary
Huge.
Basement
hip-hop-
Pangra?
Huge.
No, come on.
That's
bro.
what you know it
That's
for.
what you know.
SOBs
Come
is
on, bro.
crazy.
I'm
Wait,
just
wait,
saying.
no, I'm joking. So, anyways, it was an urban showcase, right? And they selected a handful of artists, and I was selected to go perform and represent Canada. And I was like, man, I want to take an Indian twist down there. So, I took Pariche.
Shout out to Preacher.
Shout out to Pariche. So, I took Pariche with me, and then I said, man, I need a tabla player. And I don't know how through a circle of people, they were like, yo, man, there's this kid out there. He's a young guy. He was still in university at the time. And they're like, man, we'll holler at him. He'll do it. And I was like, cool. So he hollered at me, and he was just like, Blitz, man, like, I love your music. And, yo, it'd be an honor to play with you. And so I was like, cool. So me, him, and Che practiced. We're going to America now.
Skelly's with you as well.
Skelly's with me. Yeah, shout out to Skelly. So we're going out there. We're going to do a hip hop performance. And so the flights were cheaper flying from Buffalo than Toronto. So I was like, just me. Like, I got your ticket. Don't worry. Like, I think this is the first time he's probably flown anywhere. Like, all expenses paid. We're like, hotel, everything. You're with us, right? So we're going there, and he's super nervous. Like, he wasn't this funny guy. Like, I'm just telling you, like, he was like this nervous little kid, like, he was probably like 19 or 18 at the time.
You're a pretty sick tabla player too.
Yeah, he was a good tabla player, right? So we're going, and he's kind of nervous. I'm like, listen, man, we don't have a work visa going into the States. We're going to perform. And, like, yo, don't tell them we're going to perform, bro. Like, if anything, and he's like, what should I say? What should I say? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I just said it off the top of my head. I'm
So
like,
we're
I don't
going
know.
to the Gurdwara,
No, I
man.
said, yo, just tell him you're my cousin, bro. Like, that's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Just say you're my cousin. I'll take care of the rest, We get to the border. Skelly's like a road man, he's a Scarborough Kala, right? Like, he has a suitcase full of, 200 CDs that say Skeletor for promotional use on them. I'm like, you fucking idiot, right? We get to the border. The guy stops us. The guy didn't even stress us. The guy was just like, hey, where are you guys going? He's like, I'm his cousin. We're looking at him. We're like, Skelly's looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy that you brought with us? They're like, all right, guys, pull over. Pulled us over, searched us, opened Skelly's suitcase, found 200 CDs. We missed our flight. We missed 2 flights. We had to spend the night in Buffalo.
Oh,
And we had to
Oh, they let you into the country?
they let us into the country, but we had to get a hotel right next to the airport, and we're on a budget. So there's 4 of us. We got a room with 2 double beds. And my boys Perici and Skelly are like, yo,
You're sleeping
fucking
with-
sleeping with that guy, yo. You're sleeping with that guy. It's his fault we missed our flight. You're sleeping with this kid. Skelly did not talk to this guy the whole time. Like for years after, he's like, yo, it's your fucking fault, blah, blah, blah. One day he calls me, he's like, yo. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, my bad. he's just ready, like blowing up. He's like, well, I'm like, I told you, bro. Why were you bullying this kid? You know, but shout out to
That
Just
Buffalo
Rain.
border is fucked up, though, man. They fuck you
Buffalo
up.
Borders. That reminds me of a time. The day I got signed to Tiger Style. So my license was suspended. Now we took my dad's car. I had a 4Runner. So Tiger Style was performing in Detroit. They're like, listen, we're flying down to Detroit. That's close enough to Toronto. Come down, check us, sign your contract. Yo, I'm gassed. I'm like, yo, I want to get signed, whatever. I'm like, Roach, come with me. He's coming with me. I'm like, okay, the whole way we're driving from Saga to Detroit, which is like a 3-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
Get there. Right before we get there, I'm like,
Switch your seats with me.
I'm like, Roach, you got to jump in the driver's seat. My license is suspended just in case they check. He's like, all right. We pull up to the border. The guy's like, what are you guys doing? We're like, yo, man, we're going to Detroit just to hang out. The guy's like, what do you do? I was at Ryerson at the time, right? He's a little older than me, right? Where he shouldn't be in university technically, but you could be, right?
I wasn't.
But so he wasn't in university, obviously. He was doing extracurricular activities at the time, right? He went to the University of Scarborough, let's just say, right?
I was into pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. So the guy goes, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I go to Ryerson. He's like, what about you? He's like, yeah, I go to school with him, right?
No, I said I went to, I don't know, Seneca or Europe
Yeah,
or some
you
shit
said
like that.
something. He looks at our passports, and I guess he looked at the age, right? And he's just like, he looks at Roach. He goes, undergrad or graduate? And Roach is like, pardon me? I'm like, here we are. This guy don't know the difference between undergrad and graduate. This guy's never gone to school, right? He's a fucking thug from the street. So the guy's like, undergrad or graduate? She's like, pardon me, sir? He's like, undergrad or graduate? I'm like, Roach's exact words. He's like, I don't fucking know, man. I'm just trying to get by. The guy's like, once again,
He's like,
pull the
pull
fuck
over.
over, bro.
So then, watch this. So we get pulled over now. I'm sitting there, right? So now I'm sitting there waiting for the turn. So on the side, they got different languages to say whatever. You gotta, if you're getting searched or if you gotta go to the camera, take a picture, you gotta put your index finger, this, and that. So I'm reading I think it was Urdu or something that was written on the wall so I can read it. So I read it. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So guy calls me up at the front, right? And I'm like, he's like, all right, sir, can you look this way? I'm like, yeah. Then I got to put my finger and I got to do this. He goes, you've done this before? I'm like, no, I can read the Urdu. So this guy thought he was fucking Sherlock Holmes. He's like, so wait a minute. You were born in Libya, but you could read Urdu. Isn't that Arabic they speak there? I'm like, for fuck's sake, shit. This guy's like, yo, sit the fuck over there. I'm gonna have to call fucking Interpol on your ass. So he had to go search all that shit, bro. For fucking a while. Then eventually he came back. He's like, yo, it's fuck off.
We
You
came
guys
back,
just go, man.
and I signed my contract with Tiger Style that exact same night. Whoa. Yeah. You guys don't know about when MD.
That's a
I'm gonna
crazy
just
story.
shoot out some random stories for you guys. You guys don't know about when MD, we performed at Western Culture Show. MD shows up. Yo. So MD's always been this elusive character. I don't know how I don't know how reliable he is when he has to do his MC gigs. Right?
He shows up.
MD has this knack to go missing, right?
Yeah.
So we're performing at the Western Culture Show. This is 02, 03. It's a big deal for us, right? So me and Roach.
And mind you, we had been practicing for a week and a half, 2 weeks
we
at MD's
practiced
basement.
In MD's basement, whatever. So we got to show up. Nobody knows where MD is. We're like, where the fuck is MD, right? He's yelling at me because he's like, yo, your boy. I'm like, I don't know, right? This guy shows up looking like Frankenstein, bro. Stitches all Scarface, bro.
Mandeepa.
Yo.
Let me intervene. So basically, my cousin, John Day, shout out Harvin. You guys know Harvin. Yeah. So you know how he gets into a little trouble.
Here and there.
To say the least.
Here and there.
Just baiting him out.
He even done smashed up his van. So he's got this glass, jaggedy glass, right? On the back of his van. He's like, yo, MD, can you help me? I'm like, dude, I gotta go to Western with Roach. Right? We're all wearing our Honda shirts. I'm like, yo, we gotta get to London. And by the way, those days, shout outs to Western culture shows, those were the days.
Yeah, those are big, yeah.
Yo, you know what?
Flex,
Those were epic until some guys came and took it over. and made a different culture show and just.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Shout out
guys?
Nag.
I don't
Shout
know,
out
some
Nag.
guy.
Nah, man, there's
It
another
was
one out.
it was Sax. It was Sax. It was Sax.
Sax.
Sure,
Sax.
yeah, sure.
Inspire? 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 Nav?
And I slip and fall, and I fell face first at the jaggedy glass.
Yo, like a couple hours before we got to perform.
His knuck was
His
cut up.
knuck was.
I'm like, my face is cooled everywhere. It's like straight Frankenstein scene, and I'm like, you know what? The show must
Go on.
He's like, that show must go.
The show must go on.
got that shit patched up, and then next thing you know, I'm like, Blitz, Roach, I made it. And they're like, what the fuck happened to you?
We're like, yeah, I don't think we're gonna go with you. We're gonna have to cut you from the show. No, it was dope, man. It was
Killed it,
dope.
man. Killed it.
JD
man.
was there as well, I think.
JD was
Came down
there.
that night. He
Yo,
was performing. Then
I'm trying to think, man. I'm just trying to fire off a couple of stories for everybody.
Well,
before we
I
go.
want to know about the one where Sonny Tambor actually is in the house. He shot the video. It was at Tarnpreet's house
Jeez.
where you guys had that music
Take your
video
picture?
with.
Take
was
your
it-
picture for Juggy D. yeah.
Juggy D. How did that come about?
So me and Juggy D did this song, and so I was like, man, there's this Adidas original. I don't know if you guys Google it on YouTube. Adidas Originals did this commercial where it was a house party. And like everybody was in it. Method Man, Redman, Run DMC, and it was all these random footage of like a crazy house party. So I was like, man, I really want to shoot a house party. And like, yo, shout out to Tarn. Tarn's like always been like the super cool homie who's just like, I know where you can shoot it. I'm like, where? She's like, my house. I'm like, what? I'm like, you realize there's gonna be like 200 people there, right? She's like, yeah, my parents are cool. I'm like, yo, you sure? She's like, yeah, dude, we threw this house party, and I was really expecting like 50, 60 people to show up. I don't know who Tarn called. I don't know what the hell happened. There was drummers in their living room.
That was Paul the drummer, right?
Paul the
Shout out to Paul the drummer.
Timbre shot. Oh man, it was just
Everybody was in that
that was
video.
an epic. Yeah, he was there. Like it was just.
You were
an
in that,
epic-
JJ? Oh, no way.
I got a
He's somewhere
Little
there.
cameo.
Cameo. Yeah.
cameo in that motherfucker.
And Juggy came back, and I remember Juggy was just like, bro, like Toronto really fucking like reps for you guys and turns the fuck up.
Absolutely,
like,
man.
You guys had 200 people come up. Until this day, people are always just like, man, that music video is.
That is a dope.
That's
Well,
a
I just
dope.
ran by it quickly today, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's nuts!" Tarn, actually, funny story for me. That was Tarn's house was the first house party I was ever allowed to go to. I asked my parents. I was like, "I wanted to go to this house party. Where you going?" It's this girl's house. Kiri kuri de kartala, you know? And then my mom dropped me off, you know. And then somehow I made a story of how I wanted to stay out late, but that was the first house party I ever went to too.
That's
right?
crazy.
Man, she's
That-
a bad influence.
that's crazy.
bro.
Crazy.
Bigger
That's
than
nuts.
parties with girls. There's this time where we were performing in Vancouver, right? And so we had 3 hotel rooms. It was my room, Roach's room, Pariche's room, next door to each other, right? And right after the gig, we're all celebrating. We come back and we want to go out partying. So before we go out partying, we're like, just leave all the doors open. The balcony doors are open because it's summertime. We're partying, going in and out of every room. And then, we come back. Was it your room or Pariche's room? We come back to Pariche's room. Pariche's like, what the fuck? We're like, what the fuck happened? Bro, there's a pigeon in his room that had flown in and started laying eggs.
What the fuck?
Like, while we were in each other's rooms
That's
partying,
fucked.
we come back to Pariche's room and there's fucking eggs there, bro. And we're like, yo, we always said Pariche gets the birds, right? Yo, that was crazy, bro.
That's dope, man. All right, boys, I gotta know. So you, in kind of in a wrap up sense of this, it's been a great episode
Yeah,
overall.
man, 100%.
It's just something that's been in a long time making. I've
Yeah.
been wanting to have both of you guys on. I appreciate you guys telling everything that you guys are up to, everything that's coming up. Is there anything that the fans can expect from you guys? The new album?
Yeah, the new album's coming out. The album's called Verified. Should be dropping at the end of April, latest May. It all depends how quick Sonny can turn around the videos.
Yeah, Sunny
Is
Town.
there- is there a label?
bro?
Is there a label?
Yeah, this is through Moviebox.
Take your time, Sonny, because
So this-
gives us a little bit more time to finish this episode.
This is my last album with Moviebox. So after that, gonna be
contract is
independent.
up?
Yeah. So after that, I'm independent. So
Nice.
that way I can.
Can you start your own label too?
I'm not sure about my own label, but I'm moving a bit more towards the mainstream stuff. So I've just been lining everything
Mainstream.
up. Mainstream, as in like in the UK, like more non-Asian, non-Desi stuff.
What kind of advice would you give to a new artist trying to come up and follow your path?
Don't do it, bro. No. My advice to artists, new artists, old artists, every artist is just be true to yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this album, like I'm talking about, my whole album that I'm doing or I've done, it's not, I didn't sit there and say, okay, what's hot right now? Let me follow that trend. You know how everybody's jumping on this tropical house vibe, let's do this. Or let's do this because trap is hot. I've just done music that I like,
100%.
which I think that it's good and it's going to be relevant even 10 years from now. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, some of the songs, maybe the music is okay, a bit current, but the point is obviously you can't make it too outdated as well. But the music, when I made the music, it wasn't just have fun with it because that's why we started. We started doing music because we love it, not because we're thinking, oh, is
The
this
vibe.
the vibe? Or is this people gonna like this? Just do it, bro. When I did Yada Dil Dada, I didn't know how people were gonna like it or not like it. I just did it because I loved the song. It was just what it came out.
Absolutely.
So my advice to people: just be true to yourself. Don't worry about what people think because you can't make everyone happy. So just make yourself happy, and your chemistry will transition to the rest of the people. That's my
some
advice.
good
And just work hard, man.
And you Blitz, for all the kids that want to be rappers, it's a big thing. It's coming up. You know, Drake
everybody's
put
a
the
rapper
city
these
on
days.
in a sense.
Everybody's a
Yeah,
rapper these
everybody
days.
wants to be a rapper.
So, number one, in terms of what I got coming up, I just did a single with me, Roach, Apache Indian, Deep John Doe, produced by D-Boy. We're shooting that video with Sonny Timber.
That's
That's
huge.
crazy.
like
That's
in
huge.
2 days.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when this will be coming out, but that'll be coming out. I'm on a single from Roach's album called Bang Bang, which Sonny Timber is also shooting. And Sikandar Kalan, we're on one of the singles for his
Yo,
album.
he's
Yeah.
dope, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then and just other than that, I got a lot of different things that are going on, but I just don't want to like let too much out of the bag right now. In terms of people coming up, so there's a couple things I want to tell people, right? Number one, exactly what Roach said. Always stay true to yourself and be who you are. Like I got featured on the Gully Boy soundtrack predominantly from a song called "To Tiger Style" off Tiger Style's
I
album.
remember that, yeah.
That song is the exact song Partners in Rhyme referenced, and when they said we want you on the soundtrack. That song is from 2010. So as long as you consistently keep working on your craft and you keep doing you never really know who's watching. And when the time is right and it's right for you, it'll happen for you. Number two, the most important thing I want to tell every Desi rapper that's coming out there, don't get lost in your own hype. Don't get overgassed, okay? The biggest mistake, well, not mistake, what happens is, and this very strategic what Roach has done, this is what I wanted to point out as we wrap up, right? When you start rapping and you got a Bhangra singer on the hooks, understand something. In this industry, people are going to, no matter how big the song gets, it could be your song featuring the Bhangra singer, people are going to book the Bhangra singer.
100%.
You are never going to be bigger than the Asian Desi feature on there. Don't ever get it twisted. And I'm not talking, like, don't ever get it twisted that you're the man. You're the reason you're getting booked. It's because of the Bhangra singer. So you have to transition into a way, and this is very clever what Roach did. Roach realized this a long time ago. That's why you notice the transition after a couple of years of him being the guy rapping in between the verses on Yada Dil Dada to being the guy who sings Old Girl or Hey Love. He's like, hey, yo, you know what? I don't need a feature. I'm gonna sing the hook in English, Punjabi, reggae, English, like whatever, rap, whatever you want. So perfect your craft to the point where you don't need anybody. Young guys out there, I'm looking right at the camera. Don't get overgassed. You're not fooling anybody. You're getting booked because of the Bhangra singer. So until you transition into a situation where you can be versatile enough that you can do a song just on your own and they want to book you off yourself, don't get overgassed. All right? And you're not a real artist until people consistently start paying you to jump on a flight and go places and perform your songs and people know the lyrics to your songs. Until then, keep working, young boy.
Or until you get pigeons in your room.
Until you get pigeons in your room.
That's the truest thing ever. Until you're getting paid for it, it's a hobby, not a
100%.
job.
Yeah,
Bro,
straight
until
up, straight up.
real talk, until, and this is not off of trying to catch clout, but if nobody's stopping you on the street and are genuinely asking for your pictures, you ain't done shit.
You ain't shit, bro.
You ain't shit.
You ain't fucking shit. So listen to me, yo.
And if you're looking for more of that knowledge, follow Blitz on his page. He
At
does
Blitz
live
Music
streams.
One?
Yeah,
Yeah,
at Blitz Music One. He does live streams with the
I watched his
biggest
live stream the other day
artists,
with Pamma.
Oh, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, so
He's had Apache on there. He's had Bobby Friction on there.
Richie
He's had
Rich,
Juggy D,
Richie
Richie Rich.
Rich,
He's had everybody on
I
there.
want to get you guys on there eventually.
No, that'd be
too, man. Let's
super
do it.
dope,
Let's do
man.
it,
So yeah, make sure you keep doing that. It's a
Thank you,
cool
man.
thing that
Thank
you're
you.
doing, and it's good to spread that knowledge, spread that love, and make sure these kids hear all that new stuff that's coming. To wrap this up, before there's one more song that we got to hear. I want to hear just in general everybody's favorite song that we should play, and we'll get into Punjabi Shazam.
Yes, is that?
You're the DJ. Why don't you play what song you want?
My favorite song, okay, it's one of my favorite songs, is a Roach song, and it's with Gary Sandhu. And
We didn't even
Yo,
talk
Gary
about. We didn't even
Sandhu.
talk about
Hold on,
Gary Sandhu.
Give
We
some
didn't even
advice
talk
to Gary
about.
Sandhu, bro. What's he doing out here? He's showing himself too much, bro. What's happening?
You know what? I haven't seen, but I heard.
Yo, play the song, man. It's fine, man.
Yeah, we'll come back to Gary right after this.
Well, you don't know. Once again, Surrender Rotten, Roach Killa, alongside Gary. We are gonna take the place over right about now for all them girls, them in the dance, forget up on the dance. ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਹੀਰੀਏ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈ ਸੋਹਣੀਏ ਰੂਪ ਸਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਹੁਣ ਤੂੰ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੋ ਜਾ ਮੰਨ ਲੈ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਸੋਹਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਸੋਹਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ You wanna know me now, don't you, girl? You wanna hold me down tonight, don't you, girl? You wanna love me down tonight, don't you, girl? You deep in my heart as we move around the clock, aja. ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਰੱਖਾਂਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ Tell them Gary now. ਸਾਰੀ ਉਮਰ ਰੱਖਾਂਗਾ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਨ ਦਾ ਮੀਤ ਬਣਾ ਕੇ ਪਰੀਆਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਸੋਹਣੀ ਸੂਰਤ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਾ ਕੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਸਾ ਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਸੋਹਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਦੇ ਦਿਲ
All right, and we are back from that track with Roach Killa and Gary Sandhu. I'm sorry,
Do that again.
No, I didn't want to say his name because of the comment I made earlier, but let's get into Gary Sandhu, man. Gary Sandhu has done a lot of big tracks. He's had some, not really controversy, but he's been in the news with Jasmine Sandless. He's had his
Lately, a lot.
his little thing with her.
bit.
What's your story with Gary, and what's your relationship with him?
Gary's cool, man. I met Gary. Actually, before I met Gary, Surinder came up to me. This is like 2011 when I first Gary got introduced to the scene. He came up to me with this track called Dil Dede, and Surinder played it to me, and I heard it, and I was just like, it's all right. Like, I wasn't really too keen on doing it, and then Surinder was like, well, you know, they're paying this much, so just do it. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I did the tune, and then as I finished the tune, I walked out the studio, and then I ran back in, and I go to Surinder. Surinder, is the mic on? And he's like, yeah, why? I go, I have something in my head. And he's like, what's that? So I was like, yo, turn the mic on. And I was like, girls, girls, around the town, girls, girls, oh, oh. So that's how the song starts. It's such a sick intro to the tune. So then I had a show. I had an all ladies night. It was like in England, they do a lot of ladies night, right? So I had a ladies night show to do. And then I called Gary. I was like, yo, you might as well come and do the song. Because, you know what I mean? At that time, he had no shows. Nobody knew him. He had one song out, Mani Pinda.
Big track.
But that was big afterwards. Nobody cared for it at that time. It didn't really do nothing for him, you know? So then he came his first time and he was so shy on stage. He didn't want to get on stage. I was like, so I got him on stage. And once he got on stage, I was there, so he felt comfortable. So then we started obviously kicking. So you know, he felt a bit comfortable with me. So when he got on stage, you know, he kept always used to ask me, then after that, because the song became so successful, then he was like, yo, we should do a follow-up. So we did Din Rat. And that was a massive fucking hit for me. Massive hit. Huge tune that was for me. And then he did Sahat Pyare and all that stuff. And then, unfortunately, he got deported from UK and then he went off. And then, like I said, I hadn't seen him for 4 years. That we didn't even speak for like 4 years.
Did you know anything about? We heard Dips on the show, and he talked a little bit about that when he got deported. Did you know anything about that whole story and like how he got sent off and all that?
Yeah. I mean, we were there. We were all together. I mean, I even visited him in the detention center and stuff. You know?
Shit.
So it's like it was really bad, man. But you know, I felt bad. But what could you do? You can't really mess with the immigration. So
Dil Dede, like you said, was like the biggest track, one of the biggest tracks Gary's done. He recently, I think last year, he released a track called Kill.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's actually
it's like the part 2 of Dil Dede.
it is, and it's actually in a Bollywood film. It's coming out. Not Dil Dede, Kill.
Yeah, Kill this. But how come Gary, you guys didn't do it together like a part 2?
Well, the song's called Kill. If it had me on it, it would have been called Killa.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
So, hey, at the end of the day, look, me and Gary, the last song we done was Heartbroken. That done really good for us. So, I mean, at the end of the day, look, every man to himself. They're doing what they're doing. They, power out. Shout out to Gary. He's doing his thing. Whenever we link up, we link up.
One of my favorite songs you guys did with Gary was the one you guys shot here in Toronto. Was the
Tory Lanez. Yeah.
Tory Lanez?
That was sick too.
But One Touch.
And there's One Touch.
Those
I play that
are
at,
two different tracks. Though.
As a warm-up song at every wedding. That's
Yeah.
like one of my tracks.
Yeah, it's funny because when I go perform shows, obviously I sing live as well. And the people in the back screaming, Paji, one touch, Paji, one touch.
That's me. That's me. You want that, please?
Paji, one touch, please.
I'm against that song. I'm not gonna lie right now. There's some politics behind that. Song.
One touch?
Santi,
Politics?
One touch?
No, 100.
No, that's not the one. That's the Tory Lanez.
You're on 100. Yeah.
Actually,
Oh, there was another song with Tory Lanez?
No,
well, there's only one.
No,
there's
they were
one
talking about
king
two
before
different
that.
tracks.
Yeah. He did a track with
JJ
Gary
had
called
too
One
many
Touch,
pegs.
yeah. No, JJ would actually, if you didn't know, made the original 100.
Oh, yeah. I know
yeah.
about that story. And
Yeah.
that ain't, shout out going out to Gary.
We've talked about it before.
We've
so if you
talked
see the
about it.
episode, you heard about it.
Yeah.
All right.
But other than that, the only other thing I wanted to touch upon was the fact that I got to, like I said, I grew up listening to Bollywood, and I actually got to go. I went out to Mumbai in 2015, and I got to go meet up with Meat Bros. Meat Bros is, if people don't know, they're the same guys.
Huge.
They've done Chittiyan Kalaiyan and
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
Baby Doll, Let the Sonne Di.
Dr. Zeus did that.
Oh, hold on. They just looked at each other when you said that. What is that supposed to be?
Hey, listen, I'm not getting into that. That's not my business.
It's Juice Bozzy to the show, so we can hear about it. Juice Bozzy? No.
Listen, Dr. Zeus. I mean, hey, listen, that's another episode you guys
All
can
right,
talk about.
We'll ask him when we go to UK. We'll ask him.
So, anyways, those guys. So I got a chance to meet with those guys, and we did a track. I played them a couple of ideas I had, and they listened to this one track I had, and they were like, "Yo," and the chorus was, "Girl, I need you, girl, I need you," and they were like, "Yo, really like this. We want to do something with it for a film." So I was like, "All right." So I recorded my vocals out there, and they were singing the other part. We sat there like a whole night session. We sat in the studio in Meat Bro Studios in Mumbai, and a whole night. And we were sitting with Kumar. Kumar writes a lot of the hits. I don't know if you know Kumar. Have you ever heard of the writer Kumar? He's written all Baby Doll. He's written.
His name's just Kumar?
Yeah, Kumar. That's all he goes by.
That's
He's a writer.
Crazy, yeah.
Kumar. So he's written Chittiyan Kalaiyan. He's written that. He's even written songs like Thoda Daru Vich Pyar for Taz Stereo Nation. He's he's old school, man. He's written some banger Bollywood songs as well.
That's crazy.
So we sat with him, did a whole night session, finished that, and I came back to UK, and then they were singing it, and then one day they called me. They're like, "Roach, the song is actually, we got somebody else to sing it. Your part, obviously, you're singing it, but instead of our part, we're just gonna compose it. We got somebody else singing." I'm like, "Who you got singing it?" And then they sent to me, and it was Arijit Singh singing it. So I was like,
Who's that?
Arijit, big.
Oh, shit. Huge.
Right? So him singing it, so I'm like, whoa, right? So that's a
Was
huge
you
thing.
just singing it?
Anyways,
I'm editing it out.
he was on the song, and then to my surprise, they called me. They're like, "Yo, we placed a song in a film." I was like, "What film?" They're like, "Baggy," with Tiger Shroff, which is a huge thing. So
Yeah, big
I was
actor.
so happy. I was like, "Wow," And then they were like, "Yo, they shot the video for it. It's gonna look dope. This and that." But to my experience, it always happens that especially in Bollywood or Punjabi songs, sometimes they cut the raps out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? The videos, they just cut the raps out. So when they were shooting the video, I was just thinking, like, I wasn't even hyping myself. I was like, yo, I know they're going to cut the rap part out. Even though I was singing the chorus, but then I had a rap as well, a Hindi rap. I was like, they're going to cut the fucking rap out. Let's see, And then the video came out, and they didn't. And the rap was there, and everything was there. So I came to Toronto, and Blitz was there. I was like, yo, Blitz. Sonny was there as well. Sonny's gone now, but Sonny was there at his studio. And I put the video on, and we were just all three of us watching like this Tiger Shroff singing lip sync my part and shit. So that was so fucking surreal. Like,
For those of you that don't know, Tiger Shroff is Jackie Shroff's son, right?
Yeah, Tiger Shroff's son.
Big time.
Then I got to do another song for the new film that came out, Jurwa 2, with Varun Dovin and Jacqueline Fernandez. The song's called Ato Sahi, which you were just playing. And that was a huge banger for me. And then the third song I done was for the film Rabta. Met data boyfriend, too many girlfriend. No,
Yeah.
Mad controversy with that.
Yeah, with Jay Static.
Yo, what happened?
What's his name? Jay Static?
J Star, man.
Jay
J Static.
Yeah, no, that was
Yo,
It was you.
yo,
Jay Star.
yo, that was some.
And
deep-
why don't you tell us about that?
So,
What
okay,
happened?
for those of you guys that don't know, from I know you guys remember the song a few years ago. Honey sang J Star Gabru. Yeah, that's it. So that guy, when he branched off from Mafia Mandir, he kind of did his own thing and he started producing his own music. And he had this song. It was good. It didn't it wasn't huge.
It was big for him.
It wasn't huge in Punjabi. It was big, but it wasn't fucking
Huge.
right?
Yeah.
It's like Kala Chashma. It was good, but it wasn't huge.
Until
right?
it
It's a
became
good
that.
song. We all heard
That was
it.
huge, no?
no, the original.
not the original.
We all
was
heard
good.
it,
Yeah, it was
right?
good.
But it wasn't oh my god, are you gonna lose your mind over it?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Okay.
song came out, whatever. It did his rounds on the Punjabi market, and then a few years later, Bollywood. I guess he released it under Sony Music or one of these labels or something like that back in the day. And whoever had it, there was some shit they remade the song and changed it to Hindi lyrics.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because he didn't get credited at all. And from what I heard down the pipeline was he released it through one label and this label owned something and he didn't own something and blah 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 blah.
It was a controversy because when I first got the song, the thing is look, T-Series is sending me the song to do. I'm gonna do the song. I'm not gonna question T-Series. Do you have rights for the song? That's not my business. If you're
That's
asking
their
me,
business.
that's their business. You're sending me a song. I'm getting my piece.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my vocals. I'm gonna send them to you, right? So then when the song came out, obviously there was a hoo-ha about it. Jay Star even hit me up. He was cool with me. He hit me up. He's like, Paji, tusi maine dasya kyun nahi idda?" I said, bro, that's not my call. That's your business. If the label's hitting me up directly and doing something, I'm assuming
they have the rights.
I'm assuming that you guys have sorted it out. It's not my thing to worry about. You know what I mean? So he kind of not got pissed off, but I guess maybe he felt ways, which I could understand.
That's fair.
That's fair play, but it wasn't my intention to really screw anybody over. I'm just rapping on the damn song. You know what I mean?
I feel like since then, in the last few years, this was one of the first incidents of Punjabi music being turned into a Bollywood song.
It's happened
I feel
recently
but
too, right?
I feel like now recently they're taking the precautions and they're kind of doing it right, and they're crediting where credit's
What's
due.
that song
But
that they
the
just
Kala
did?
Chashma, for
Yeah,
instance.
Long Lachi, they just ruined it, bro.
Yeah.
They
But
ruined it, man.
For Kala Chashma, for instance, some desi dude, a Punjabi cop
Amar
or
Arshi.
something wrote Kala Chashma, and they told him oh hey, we're just gonna put this in something in Bollywood. Here's 50,000 rupees. Guy's sick, yo. My life's made 50,000 rupees, right? Bro, the song's the biggest track. Man didn't get a single dollar from it.
Oh man.
That's how Bollywood moves.
That's how it goes. Now they got Spotify in India, and artists ain't getting
Yeah,
nothing
just
from
launched,
that,
but they got
bro.
Savin as well, right?
It's not
yeah.
just it's
Yeah,
not
but
just
Spotify's
Bollywood.
gonna take over, bro. Savin doesn't have that
Yeah.
money power behind
Spotify's
Spotify,
crazy.
You guys-
It's the best
do you-
app.
do you
Shout out to
make,
Spotify.
do
We're
you make
available on
money off
Spotify, by the
Spotify?
way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Of
you can
course.
earn. You can
Yeah,
monetize
of course,
Spotify,
of
right?
course.
Shout
Okay.
out.
Yeah.
10
Everyone
cents a
listen to
play.
this
Not
on
a lot,
Spotify.
not
so
a
you
lot.
can monetize.
Not a lot.
I gotta intervene here because I
Not a
know
lot.
our cameras memory cards are on their last lengths.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm
let's
getting
do it.
you some messages
Let's get to
or
it.
some eye contact.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump over into Punjabi Shazam.
Let's do
All
it.
right.
I think it's at that point.
I think we've had a fantastic. You know what? You
Huge.
guys are family to the show now. You guys are
yeah.
always welcome to come back.
Respect,
We'd love to
respect.
have you guys
sure,
back
for sure.
sure.
Actually, hold on.
This
We
guy,
don't-
this guy, we're not gonna let him hold on to this title. We gotta win it from one of you guys at least. So let's play this game, and whenever you guys are back
I'm
in
just
town, you're
gonna-
more than welcome.
Yeah.
Blitz, you're always welcome to the
Next
show.
time I'm here, I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
guys about the story about JJ being scared of a
there's
haunted house in Kitchener.
so
We
much.
need to do
an
Yeah.
episode.
later on in life.
Yeah.
So right now, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna explain how this game works.
All right.
So I'm gonna play some random ass song.
You know what
It's actually
Shazam
a
is, right?
fucking
You play a
song.
snippet of a track and guesses what the track
Let's
is.
do it.
Yeah, but
So-
Shazam, you're allowed at least 10 seconds, man.
Nah, this
So
one,
this you got.
This is literally
I'm
a
gonna
second,
show you
bro.
what you have.
They said this is Shazam when
This
half
is not
that.
an actual song you're gonna compete with. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just an idea.
Okay.
So the song's gonna go. We gotta turn it up. And you gotta
Big
figure out what the
pimpin'.
song.
Sound
No,
like
no.
Sound like
Real, let's get
Two
down on the floor.
Throw some D's on it.
No.
No.
What's
It
that?
was
Big Pimpin'.
No,
Big
no.
Pimpin'.
No, he's right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that song? Down on the floor.
Oh, that's that
Oh,
Pimp,
baby
this is
with
like-
cash money, no?
I had
Okay.
the pimp part right.
That was just a.
I had the
test.
pimp part right.
It wasn't a
Okay,
song.
okay.
Yeah, I don't see
understand
myself
who's
winning in
around
this
here.
one.
I understand who's here. I understand what's going on. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna mix it up. I got some.
And put that belt over. In the
I got
middle,
some
bro.
different genres in here.
Every song you play,
Don't touch
I'm
my
gonna be like
belt,
Credit Card by Jay.
Hey. So first,
Don't touch my belt, motherfucker.
we're gonna do something, and we're gonna see who knows this. So are we ready right now?
Yeah, we're
Everyone
ready.
good?
Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Good to go. Who's gonna be the judge?
It's
We got Amrit and Dolo.
it's title
Amrit-
title of the song. If you get
MD,
a tie,
MD Angela, MD, bro, come,
MD's
come.
here.
I felt like MD should have carried
Eh.
it so you could have played.
Nah, it's all
Yeah.
no.
It's all good.
Because I'm sitting here, I know my computer. I'm just gonna do it.
right.
title of the song. If you tie, you got to guess the artist.
Artist.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys watch out for who's saying it first.
Okay.
Cool. Ready?
All right, let's go. Oh,
Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg, what's my name? Hey, I got it. I got that.
So he got it.
I got it, bro.
Snoop Dogg,
Come
what's my
on.
name?
Don't
Roach
take
Killa.
my
What's
shot.
the album
Don't take
title?
my
What's
shot.
the album title? Doggy Style.
Yeah,
Come
yo,
on,
MD,
bro.
you're judging, yo. Come on.
MD's
got
ripped, bro. MD had like 1-2 bags. Like,
He wants the belt.
Okay.
MD wants the
All
belt.
right, round 2.
Ready? 1, 2.
Nah,
Oh, nah. Oh, you obviously
my
right.
man.
That was not
Credit
even
Card
fair.
by Jay.
That was a
Static.
delayed reaction.
Credit Card by Jay Static. Was that it?
All right, we got one for Roach, one for DJ M.
Okay. Ready?
Buju Banton champion.
champion.
Bomba clat, you know
Yo,
about
my
it.
brain can't work that fast.
Yeah, it
man.
doesn't happen that fast.
Yeah.
2 for
But,
Roach.
all right,
Like
two for
reggae,
Roach,
two
मैं
for
belt
Roach.
लाया नहीं करे.
Ready?
मैं कर रहा
Yeah.
नहीं belt.
Shook one, shook one, shook one, shook one, shook one,
Uchi-
shook
was it
one.
Shook ones?
Yeah,
Oh,
Shook
yeah,
ones.
it sounds like the start of Uchi.
Damn,
Wale.
all
It
right.
does sound like-
2-2. I think are we out of the game?
Shouts
You
to
guys
kill
have-
and $100 bills.
So this is the final round between Roach and M.
Okay,
And
okay.
this one takes the belt.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, hold on.
It's very tough.
I'm gonna take my jacket off.
I wonder if it's gonna be hip hop or Punjabi. Let's see.
Hold on.
Might have to be Bollywood just
It
to
can't
in
be
the
a
middle.
Roach song though.
It's not gonna be a Roach song, that's for sure. I'm gonna make sure it's neutral territory. Oh, it's tough.
This is intense.
I think I'm gonna pick something
Big
that's
decision. yo.
Let
mid-range.
us
Ready?
give us a 1, 2, 3.
All
Ready?
right.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Hip hop hooray!
Daddy by nature.
Who got it?
He got.
I could have said that as well. I didn't even hear what he said.
When he got it.
Right, tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. We'll
We can all
tiebreak
tie
it.
together.
If you
We'll
guys,
tiebreak
if
it.
you yell it at the same time, artist right away. Whoever
Alright.
says the artist right away. Right
But
away.
yo,
He
it's
did
fine.
get it like
In
a
that
split
case, I
second
won,
earlier,
though.
but
Yeah, no, that was close. That was
That was
super
close.
close. Yeah.
This is intense.
Hold on a second.
DJ intense.
Sandless.
Horrible
Okay.
feature by
Give us a
Horse
1, 2,
Town.
3.
Ready?
Worst rap I've heard.
so
One.
ripped right now.
Oh wait, ready?
Yeah.
You might as well just say the entire name and the fucking artist right at the same time. Just letting you guys know. 1, 2, 3.
DMX. Rough Riders anthem.
Yeah, that was crazy. Oh man, Roach Killa takes the belt. Huge. That's a good area. No, you held it down. You held it down too. That was crazy. All right, Roach. All right, Blitz. Thank you so much for coming through. You guys have been great sports, man. We appreciate you guys
you for
coming
having
through,
us, man.
telling
Yeah,
us
thank you very
everything that
much.
we wanted to know. You
Yeah.
got, of course, like we said, you're more than welcome back anytime.
100%.
Roach still celebrating?
I'm so sad right now.
Early congratulations on the new album, Roach.
Yeah.
Make sure that we get a snippet of that so we can play that
Definitely,
as
definitely.
100%.
well. All right, and thank you,
100%.
Dolo. Thank you, Umrit. Thank you, MD, Tarn, and Sunny
Sunny
Tamber on the
Tamber,
left, and
MC
Navi
JD,
as well.
JD.
And
MCJD,
JD, of
and
course.
JD.
And
yeah.
Nav EI.
Absolutely, man. Great episode. Make a round of applause for these two guys, man.
And shout out. Hey,
On the
listen.
count of three,
Hold on,
can
hold on,
we get
hold
a
on.
Toronto?
Hold on, hold on.
One,
Before-
2,
before-
3.
hold on.
Toronto.
Toronto.
And again, before I go, shout out to every artist out there from Toronto. Shout out to any artist that we were
Everybody.
speaking about. It's nothing personal. We're just stating facts and stuff. So shout out going out to everybody.
Shout
Don't
out
take
to
it to
everybody.
heart.
Oh, you know they took
And
it
personal
personal.
stories. And I don't give a fuck if they take it personal, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
this is all just real stuff.
No,
And the
that's it,
stories
man.
that I've
Yeah.
told, this is real stuff that I've told. So it's not like if you're gonna take it to heart, then you're a
No,
bitch.
the platform is made for you to come and tell the truth.
Yeah,
so
bro,
I
I'm
mean,
telling
that's
the
what
truth,
we
man.
want.
If it's
yeah.
catch feelings, then that's your problem.
That's it,
And
man.
in the
Absolutely.
words of famous Jay Static, jet up and a jet.
That's it.